It's time to remember that. With Kyle Sandel.
Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent, located downtown Midland. Tigers lose the series with the Phillies over the weekend, and man, this was some high-leverage baseball. Friday night, obviously a really tight game, but the Tigers end up losing it, blowing it due to the bullpen. Offense explodes Saturday after Tarek Skubal goes 6 scoreless and then gets lit up a little bit late in his start, but the offense was there to back him up, and that was really positive to see. And then obviously last night, Christopher Sanchez just dealing for the Phillies, and you almost knew when Yohan Duran was coming into the game that Tigers were unlikely to take this one. But this is just an unfortunate series loss for Detroit because we don't have anything to look ahead to anymore as far as, well, at least they can still do this at the trade deadline. Like, this is their roster now for the rest of the season. And it was a good spot to have Philly on the schedule because this is their first true taste at a playoff-style series with the current roster that they're going to have for the rest of 2025. Not to say that they totally failed or anything, because I thought they showed some positives. I thought the new guys that they acquired have been pretty good so far. Obviously a super small sample. But man, the bullpen blowing the game on Friday, and then the bats unable to do anything on Sunday. It doesn't give you a ton of positive thoughts going forward once you put the Tigers against these other playoff-style teams for the rest of this season. Remember that. Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent, located downtown Midland.
Get ready for a double dose of fun with Greater Midland races. August 1st, it's Run the River, a scenic 5K along the Tridge during River Days. Runners 21 and older get a complimentary drink ticket to use at the Rotary tent. You're literally running for the pint. Then, on August 8th, race through Dow Diamond at the Loons Pennant Race. Cross home plate and score a free lawn ticket to that night's game. Sign up now at greatermidland.org/races. Greater Midland, making Midland a better community one step and one race at a time.
Bel Air Brown, Dragon's Milk, Mad Hatter, Purple Gang, and Huma Loopalicious. These are names that let the imagination run wild and let the taste buds take a stroll. Welcome to the craft beer craze in Michigan. Bolstered by the Great Lakes and nurtured by the glacier-rich soil, here awaits a brewer's paradise. With fresh hops growing tall in the Old Mission Peninsula and fresh barley fields sweeping the mitten, Michigan ranks 5th in the nation in the number of breweries, microbreweries, and brew pubs. From Good Harbor Golden to Whitefish Bay Wheat, from Motown Lager all the way to Park Bench Porter, Michigan is serving up a frosty glass of perfection. Whether you want to take in a game with a Two-Hearted Ale or just sit on a front porch sipping a Steelhead Red, let's tap into life at its fullest and treat ourselves to a taste that's pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Remember that. Hello. Good morning, and welcome into the Ben Bosscher Show, live from Midland, Michigan, live on 100.9 The Mitt, live on YouTube, live on Facebook, or live just about anywhere you can watch. You guys can listen as well. Oh, what a good Monday to get started on the week. Hey, by the way, the Tigers, not a great weekend. That's okay, though. We're going to have a great show regardless of that, but we are going to talk about that team for a while here because I think they failed a test coming up. We're going to get into that in just a second. We've got some Lions stuff to get to as well. I want to look around the NFC North today because I don't know if you guys are aware of this. The Lions are underdogs week 1 in Lambeau. That could be a free money alert. I've already bet on it. I want to look at the Packers, I want to look at the Vikings, and I want to look at the Bears and just kind of examine everyone at this point in the offseason now that we're a few weeks into training camp. I don't know if you've seen, but some of these Caleb Williams videos that are kind of going viral from training camp, they're not great. I want to jump into that and a whole lot more with the NFC North. That's in the 10 o'clock hour. Like I said, let's kick things off with the Tigers. However, start every Monday the same. Kyle, 1 out of 10, Sports Weekend.
Ooh.
Kyle Sandel, our producer, by the way.
Hey.
Didn't mention that right off the top. I'd give this one a solid. There wasn't a whole lot going on outside of baseball, but you know me. I'm a wrestling guy. SummerSlam totally delivered. Couple new champions. I'm including this into the weekend sports, score. I'm giving it like a 7.7.
Wow, that's high.
But on a standard of summer. You know what I mean? Like,
right,
we've got to
score.
We've got to separate the summer scores versus the non-summer.
Right, because there's just no way even like the best summer weekend is even like a 4 in terms of all year because of how the fall and winter just dominate. Yeah,
unless we get an awesome golf weekend, but most of the golf weekends they're just over 2 days into it because of Scotty Scheffler.
Right,
so.
Of course. Yeah, for me, I'm not a big wrestling guy, so there really was not a ton for a sports guy like myself this weekend. I'm giving it like a 3.5, I think. If Tigers lost, that was really the only thing that happened that was relevant to me. So,
hey, we'll start selling and buying stocks a little bit later on. But again, let's jump right in with this Tigers team. I told you guys last week on Friday at the deadline, hey, this team has a couple things to accomplish here before I'm ready to just jump in and be back on the bandwagon. Because they lost 12 of 13 games in a row. That scarred me a little bit. That hit me home, and that wasn't going to heal overnight, especially after you sweep an Arizona team that is in the middle of selling everything. That's what they did at the deadline. So, yes, they end up sweeping Arizona. Good to get a few victories in the column because that's better than what they were doing before. But I was going to need to see a little bit more before I was ready to fully invest back into this Tigers team in a way where I could feel optimistic about them at all times. And I told you they had 9 series in August. They needed to win 6 of those. Only 2 of these series in August of the 9 are against teams over 500. And not only are those series against teams over 500, they're true World Series contending teams. The Phillies were one of them. The Phillies this past weekend, and they played the Astros the weekend of the 18th, 19th, and 20th. It's not a weekend, actually. I don't know why I said that. So this was a huge test for the Tigers yesterday and Saturday and Friday on the road. Obviously, yesterday ends on national television. And unfortunately, I think they failed this test. 3 different games, 3 totally different stories, all of which have the same theme. Scott Harris did not do enough at this year's deadline. Game 1, I call it the bullpen meltdown. Almost a laugh in the face of what happened to Scott Harris. Somewhat poetic of a way to kick off, not the second half of the season, but the post-trade deadline era of the season. You take a 3-run lead in the 3rd inning, and you roll that all the way into the bottom of the 7th. Feeling good. You're on top of a team that's, in a way better league in the National League, one of the best teams, and you've got a 3-0 lead on it post-deadline. You're feeling pretty good about it. Jack Flaherty has another great outing, but they throw him back out there in the 7th. He's got bad numbers in the 7th this year, to say the least, Kyle. A 9 ERA and a 3 whip, round numbers. I could sit here and say they shouldn't have threw him back out there, but Castellanos was up, so you had the split that favored, Jack Flaherty. He ends up giving up a single, and they take him out instantly. Holton comes in. He walks a guy. Back-to-back flyouts. It leads to a run. Okay, whatever. Then they bring Vest in to close out the inning. This is all the same inning, bottom of the 7th. Vest gives up 2 singles, and the game is tied 3-3, just like that. And you're just thinking to yourself, my God, there's no way the bullpen is going to ruin this. The irony of it, of begging for new bullpen guys and then the bullpen coming in after an excellent Jack Flaherty outing and ruining it. Wenzel Perez raises his hand in the top of the 8th and says, I got us, don't worry. By the way, Wenzel Perez, outstanding weekend, including the home run on Friday, also went 5 for 10 over the course of those 3 days, made some incredible plays in right field as well. So he ends up taking the lead for the Tigers in the 8th inning, and then the bottom of the 8th inning, Hannafy comes in and just wrecks everything once again. 2 base hits and a throwing error. 2 first. He tries to make the out at first. And just like that, the Tigers have surrendered the lead once again. Herter has to come in for the final out. So not once, but twice, the bullpen blew the game on Friday night. And then the irony of Juan Duran coming out of the game, coming out of the pen for the Phillies with that electric entrance and shutting down this Tigers team, a guy that the Tigers, I don't know if they realistically had a chance of getting Duran just because it was an in-division trade, but you look at a team in the Phillies and just the principle of going after one of the top relievers available and them instantly coming in and picking up a save. That hurt. That stung. Especially what happened on the other end with the Tigers bullpen blowing the game again, not once, but twice. Game 2, Saturday. It was a home run galore. And that's exactly what the Tigers needed a dose of. Here's a fun stat for you. The Tigers right now ranked 8th in home runs. It's pretty good. Is it good enough? History says no, at least recent history. Of the past 5 seasons, every World Series champion has been top 4 in home runs. You'd have to go back to the 2019 Nationals, the last team that wasn't top 4 in home runs that ended up winning a World Series. Tigers are 8th. Again, that's not bad, but it might not be good enough. Keith, Gleyber Torres, Kerry Carpenter, and Javier Baez all home run in Saturday's game. Again, awesome. Might not be enough home runs still is the overarching theme. The Tigers decided to not go get a bat at the deadline. There's a guy with 36 home runs available. You let the Mariners go get him. We'll see if Scott Harris regrets that decision. If the Tigers aren't hitting the home run ball like you'd want in the postseason. So, again, they end up winning this game 7-5. Skubal goes 6 scoreless innings before giving up 3 in the 7th. Hey, by the way, here's another fun stat for you. Tarek Skubal, 8 games in his Tigers career of 10 Ks, 0 walks. No other Tiger has 7 games. He's got 8th. That's in franchise history, by the way. Vest comes in, gives up another 2 runs in the 8th inning. So I don't know what's going on with Vest. He's supposed to be this number 1 option. They elect, again, not to go get a lights-out closer because they believe in Vest. And guess what? Vest had a very poor weekend. They end up winning this game still. It's totally, like feel-good win, enough home runs. You still gave up 5 runs, but it is what it is. And Finnegan makes his debut, the actual guy that the Tigers went and got at the deadline of value. Again, could have gotten better options. You decided to go with the B-plus option rather than any of the A options like the Phillies did with Duran. He comes in, picks up the save. Everything's good on Saturday. Game 3 rolls around. Sunday night baseball. Everybody's watching. It felt like a real playoff game. You're in Philadelphia, one of the most hostile crowds in all of professional sports, specifically baseball. You're on the road, and you've got 41-year-old Charlie Morton on the mound. Charlie Morton delivered. This is another guy that the Tigers traded for, 11th hour. This was, I swear to God, I think this trade happened at 5:59, the day of the deadline, 1 minute before. They end up making this trade, and he comes in and delivers a really awesome game. 6 innings, only gave up 1 run, gave up 4 hits. The only problem is, this was the Houdini game because the offense completely disappeared. 0 runs for the 8th time this season and the 3rd time since the All-Star break has ended. Again, the Tigers elected to not go at a bat because they were comfortable with Zach McKinstry and Javier Baez on the left side of the infield. Both those guys were all-stars. You should be fine with it. Except the Tigers are getting the least amount of production from the third base spot offensively across Major League Baseball right now. Zach McKinstry is a great feel-good story. He's a great utility guy to have. He can play anywhere. We all know why Zach McKinstry is awesome. He's not up to standards of other World Series contending third basemen. Is that fair to say? Hope so. They get shut out. The offense disappears. They do that sometimes. And once again, how does the game end? Juan Duran coming in, arguably the best closer that got moved at the deadline, goes to Philly, and once again shuts down this Tigers team. The only part that sucked, even more than Friday night, was it was Carpenter, Torkelson, and Green that he shut down very quickly. Green goes down on a K, his 147th of the year. Heart of the lineup, shut down by one of the best relievers in baseball that the Tigers did not go get. The irony in that, watching him come out in a night game with that electric entrance and the spider going across this video board, that stung, guys. That could have been the Tigers. Maybe not with Duran, but with Bednar, with Helsley. They could have went and got one of these lights-out relievers. Meanwhile, your lights-out reliever, Will Vest, pooped down his pants this weekend. Not once, but twice. They did not pass this test, unfortunately. And they've only got one more test the rest of August, and that's the Houston Astros, the 18th, 19th, and 20th. I really really wish, guys, I was sitting here talking about a series win. They beat the Phillies. We're back on the bandwagon. That's unfortunately not what it is. Scott Harris told us he thought that there was moves available for them to make that could haunt the Tigers for years to come because of the prospects that they gave up. I'm sitting here telling you it's not the prospects giving them up that's going to haunt the Tigers for years to come. It's not being aggressive at the deadline. That is what is going to haunt this Tigers season for years to come. You were in the driver's seat the entire first half. The driver's seat. You were the best team. And you got too comfortable at the top. Everyone else is caught up. And that's the unfortunate part right now. I'm not going to sit here and rip the Tigers every day the rest of the season for not going all in at the deadline, but this weekend specifically hit home. I don't want to do it every day. But I'm speaking from the heart on this one. That sucked. And Scott Harris not being all in, or even half in at the deadline, is going to cost the Tigers this season. And I'm still upset about it, even, 4 days removed from the deadline. 989-837-6125. I promise we'll twist this thing positive. I'm not going to have a show where I just sit here and complain the entire time. Just needed to get that off my chest. 989-837-6125. Here is some good news, though. The Tigers' new players, 3 of them played this weekend. They all played pretty well. Charlie Morton, Kyle Finnegan, and who's the last one, Kyle? Who else played?
Well, Chris Paddock played before the Phillies series, but yes.
Correct. All of them have played well. The problem is Tigers still lost this series. What does that tell you about this team? I want to hear from you guys. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt. Be right back. It's Monday here on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Hey, did you guys catch anything yet?
Not a thing.
Ah, bummer, neither have we. I'm actually just about to head into town. I'm going to go into Higher Standards Automotive. They got this award-winning service department with amazing technicians and this large parts department in case I want to fix it myself. They got the part there.
Whatever.
No, I'm serious, man. It's out there.
Yeah, just like when you tried to convince me Bigfoot was real.
Ray?
Bigfoot's behind me, isn't he?
Yeah, we got to run.
Ah!
Stop into Higher Standards Automotive, North Eastman Road in Midland, right past the mall.
At First Class Epoxy Floor and Counter, floors don't just get coated, they get a makeover. Epoxy's so tough, it shrugs off spills, stains, and even your wildest dance moves. Garages, workshops, anywhere you want a floor that's smooth, shiny, and just a little bit sassy, they handle it all with style. No more boring floors. Get ready to impress everyone who walks through the door. Slide into durability and flair. First Class Epoxy Floor and Counter, where your floors get the VIP treatment they didn't know they needed.
Hi, this is Jim Mahoney with Link Technologies. If you are a business or a nonprofit organization wondering how to navigate today's technologies landscape, let Link Technologies' talented staff work with you to develop a technology plan custom to your specific needs. We bring 27 years of experience helping businesses and nonprofit organizations just like yours achieve their technology goals. Contact us today and see how the right balance between cloud and on-premise resources can best work for you.
At Tommy's Express, you can get your car clean, shiny and dry in just minutes. Our state-of-the-art eco-friendly wash delivers a spotless finish every time. With the Tommy Club app, enjoy unlimited washes or paper wash. Skip the line with license plate recognition and manage everything right from your phone. Fast, clean, and simple. Visit Tommy's Express today and see the difference. Text Clean Card to 86697 for a free works wash.
Offer valid for new guests only. By participating, you consent to receive promotional information text from Tommy's Express. Message and data rates may apply. Message frequency varies.
Follow the Yellow Brick Road to Dow Diamond on Saturday, August 9th for Wonderful Wizard of Oz Night. There's no place like home as the Great Lakes Loons host the Lansing Lugnuts. After the game, defy gravity with a fireworks loontacular presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. Grab your tickets now at loons.com and get ready for a night that's truly over the rainbow. This isn't just baseball. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters? Yeah. 100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Look, Kyle, I'm not trying to kick everyone off, kick everyone's week off on a sour note, but it did kind of sting the last few days, specifically Friday and Sunday, watching Jarren Duran come in and just shut down this team, for the Tigers to not go all in at the deadline and then get got by a team that did go all in at the deadline. The irony of it, I just thought was worth bringing up here in the open. Again, I don't want to just crap on the Tigers all day long today. That's not what I want to do, but we have to bring this up.
Well, yeah, and it makes sense to do it now because obviously this is their first series post-trade deadline, and I think it did help that their first series post-trade deadline was a playoff-style vibe. Like, that's how this series felt. Even I know obviously last night extremely felt like it because it was the winner-take-all game, and it was on national TV, and obviously the pitching matchup was great. But it felt that way on Friday and Saturday too, right? Like the Phillies threw their 3 best guys, and the Tigers got 3 really good pitching performances. Obviously, you knew you were going to get one from Skubal, but it was nice to see the bats back him up for the first time. But getting that performance out of Flaherty and Morton, like you matched the 3-headed monster of the Phillies. But the way that the Tigers lose, we can sit here and complain about it today, but today's about the last day we can do it because, frankly, we can't look forward to any changes that are going to happen with this team, right? This is the squad for the rest of the season. You have Parker Meadows potentially coming back. Not potentially. He will be back. But how much of an impact is that truly going to make? You have Alex Cobb, who might come back.
Oh,
you have
how much? Yeah. Do you really believe Alex Cobb is going to pitch for the Tigers this year?
I'll save that for later.
Okay.
I have something on that later in one of our upcoming segments, our traditions here on a Monday. And then Jose Urquidy has been making some rehab starts down in the minor leagues, which I think he actually will make an impact in this bullpen. But at the end of the day, he's not a Yohan Duran, so we can't, there's nothing to look forward to. This is the group the rest of the year, and for them to lose the way that they did this weekend, the first series post-trade deadline, definitely, for sure it stings.
If Vesta's going to pitch like he did this weekend, against really good bats, to be fair, but you're going to face really good batting lineups every playoff series. There's no one you're getting off the hook with. If that's how Vesta's going to pitch, the Tigers are not winning multiple series. It's just not going to happen.
They can't have Vest go down like Canely has, man, because Canely has become a net negative at this point.
They don't even let Canely go out there unless it's out of necessity anymore.
No, he didn't pitch all weekend. Vest, well, he did pitch Friday, right? But anyways,
yes.
Vest can't. They cannot afford to have him go down the way that he has. I know you added Kyle Finnegan, and yeah, they added a ton of other arms, but none of those guys pitched just yet. So Vest has got to clean his stuff up for sure. That bullpen's going nowhere if he doesn't.
All the new guys actually have played pretty well. All of them have had one appearance. Kyle Finnegan makes the save on Saturday night. Charlie Morton starts on Sunday night, and then Chris Paddock, last Wednesday went against that Diamondbacks team?
Yeah.
All of which have played very well. The fact that they still lost this weekend series, Charlie Morton didn't, or Paddock didn't pitch this weekend, but the fact that you got 2 great outings from Finnegan and Morton, and you still lost one of those games that they pitched in, doesn't that kind of tell you, hey, maybe this team didn't do enough here at the deadline?
Right.
Especially watching teams like the Yankees, who went all in on Bednar and a couple other guys, watching the Phillies, who went all in on Duran. It really doesn't feel like the Tigers are a special team the way that I thought they were in the first half of the season. And they had a chance to kind of close some of those gaps, or at least fill some of those holes. And they elected not to do it. They replaced them with, I don't know, they filled them with sand rather than dirt. It's just not sustainable, especially if Vest is going to go down, like you said, which, again, just can't happen.
Right.
It just simply can't happen. They will not win multiple playoff series if Vest is going to pitch like that.
Well, and obviously you can look at it from the other lens of the Tigers did go up against 3 really good pitchers this weekend, and they did get good outings from Morton, and Kyle Finnegan has been a good pickup so far. but it's like that's what you're going to face in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's a normal lineup in the
Yes.
playoffs.
You're going to face 3 really good pitchers throughout the first 3 games of a series, So to expect Charlie Morton to pitch that way every time, too, obviously is just not going to happen. Now, you would also expect the bats to put up more than 0. Would you say that was the 8th time this season they've done that?
8th time this season, 3rd time since the break that they've been shut out.
Right, which
not
is
good.
I mean, that's a lot for post-break. Yeah, it's been less than a month.
It's a lot for a team that calls themselves World Series contenders.
That's fair, but obviously they elect to not go get any offense at the trade deadline. I still think that, look, I'll give Scott Harris the slightest note of credit for getting a lot of different options at the deadline as far as these pitchers go. I understand they're not the top guys, and I'm not giving him credit for all of this, but it is nice that they have the depth and options of these guys now to go to, because if one of Morton or Paddock continues to pitch well, obviously that's a plus. I think counting on both of them, too, would be a bit of a shocker. I don't know if we're ever going to see some of these bullpen guys pitch, right? The Cody Hewer guys at AAA arm, Rafael Montero.
Oh, I can't wait for the Tigers fans to see Montero.
Yeah.
He puts 3 guys on walks his first 3 at-bats.
You assume that at some point he's going to come out there. I mean, he's like the righty Gregory Soto, the poor version of Gregory Soto, too. So,
which is already
right, yeah, exactly.
Already
so
a frustrating guy to watch.
Bring back some flashbacks there, definitely. And then obviously Paul Sewald has to return at some point as well. So we can give early grades out, obviously, for these guys that pitch well because they did good. But at the end of the day, it is kind of funny that this is the best-case scenario for the guys that Scott Harris went out and got, and they still lost like a crucial series this weekend.
Yeah, they don't have another chance to really prove themselves against a superior team, or at least the team like hoping to make the playoffs until that Astros series. Everyone else they play this month is below 500, which you'd think is a good thing. Hey, catch up in the standings, maybe try to solidify yourself as the number 1 team in the American League record-wise. But we hit on this a little last week, too. I almost think it's somewhat of a curse, and post-deadline, maybe it doesn't matter as much, but somewhat of a curse that the rest of the AL Central is so incompetent that they've been given this cushion and this lead to where they're going to be a playoff team. And I think it prevented them from, maybe if Cleveland or Minnesota was a little bit closer to them in the standings, maybe they would have been a little bit more aggressive at the deadline to try to widen that gap. But
yeah, I mean, like, who is playing for the Twins tonight?
That's what I'm saying.
I was listening to the Dickerson and Dirks radio broadcasts a little bit last night when I was driving in between watching it on ESPN, obviously. And they were previewing the next series, and Dickerson and Dirks are like, I'm going to be honest, I haven't looked at the Twins roster. Like, I got no clue who's on this team right now.
They give up 10 of their 26 guys.
And Buxton's on IL, so it's like they legit – I'm interested to see who suits up for them this weekend. James Outman, though.
They could be one of the worst teams in Major League Baseball the rest of the way, and I would not be surprised whatsoever.
I mean, I think that's kind of their plan, right? I mean, they ultra sold. They sold harder than anyone has in years.
That's one way to do it. That's one way to do it at the deadline. Just wave the white flag, not only on this season, but the next 3. Sucks to suck, Minnesota fans. Hey, Ace Hardware, downtown Midland, locally owned and proudly family operated right here in the heart of Midland. Take advantage of the $3 off Ortho Weed Killer, proven power to take your yard back right before fall rolls around, or go bigger with $10 off Spruce Weed and Grass Killer. Tough on the weeds, easy on your wallet. Visit them at East Main Street, downtown Midland, right where local service meets big-time savings, supporting your yard and your community, all in one stop, plus a donut shop right inside. It's Ace Hardware, downtown Midland. We'll hit the news when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show, live on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Loons last week out in Fort Wayne, Indiana, won 4 of 6 with great pitching from their starters. They had a starter scoreless inning streak of 26 2/3 from Tuesday through Saturday. And speaking of Saturday, an offensive explosion. They scored 18 runs and 19 hits. Joe Vitrano did his part, a triple that drove in 2 runs, all part of the fun on Saturday night. 0-1. Vitrano swings, hard hit, laced into right center field, and that's trouble. That's going to roll to the wall. Decker hits third, he scores. Hainline on his horse hitting third. Vitrano wants a triple, cut off by Evans. No throw, a stand-up, 2-ribby, 3-bagger for Joe Vitrano. Loons add to their lead. It's 6-2 here in the 5th. Loons are back at Dow Diamond. They start a series Tuesday. First pitch at 7:05.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite. a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Allie Huntoon, the director and founder of Allied HR Solutions and Allied Group Fitness.
Lean on people I trust to help me get through things too. If I know that I'm overwhelmed or I need support with something, I usually try to reach out. Sometimes I'm still trying to do things all myself, and that's a learning curve too. Delegation is your friend. I'm learning that.
Something I definitely do.
So I think it's leaning on your team. I think it's putting things into perspective. Even though HR is very important and we have things all the time that come up with terminations or discrimination or harassment.
Listen to the full interview with Allie on YouTube on 100.9 The Mitt. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
Near, on the wall, whose house is the nicest on the block of the mall?
Not yours.
What do you mean?
Your siding is faded, your gutters are falling off, and you have shingles missing. I suggest you call Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
I'm going to call Bresky Siding and Building Repair right now. Near, on the wall, now whose house is the nicest of them all?
Yours is, kind sir, yours is.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today.
Get ready for a double dose of fun with Greater Midland races. August 1st, it's Run the River, a scenic 5K along the Tridge during River Days. Runners 21 and older get a complimentary drink ticket to use at the Rotary tent. You're literally running for the pint. Then, on August 8th, race through Dow Diamond at the Loons Pennant Race. Cross home plate and score a free lawn ticket to that night's game. Sign up now at greatermidland.org/races. Greater Midland, making Midland a better community one step and one race at a time.
At Aird Insurance Group, they're more than just policies. They're your trusted partners in protecting what matters most.
Whether it's auto, home, life, or business insurance, their team takes the time to understand your needs and find the best coverage for your unique situation.
With personalized service and unbeatable rates, Aird Insurance Group makes protecting your future easy.
Call Aird Insurance Group today and see why their clients trust them to keep them covered.
Aird Insurance Group.
The experience matters.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Michigan, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
989-837-6125. This number to hit us up at the Blazy Electric Studio for the Mitt messages. We'll get to some of those a little bit later on in the show, but for now, I think it's time to hit the news.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
All right, Kyle.
Okay, Ben. It's been a busy weekend of sports, even though I didn't rank it very high. But there's still a lot of news to get to. We got a big one, Ben.
Yeah, we did. Friday after the show, I think, is where you're going with this, right?
Probably. I think it was Friday after the show, but there was a couple things that happened Friday after the show. The big one, though, Micah Parsons requests a trade from the Dallas Cowboys. OMG.
This is... I have a lot of different thoughts on this, man. So, first of all, I think there's like a 0% chance that this guy actually gets moved.
Right.
I think he is well aware he is not getting traded. I think he knows he's not getting traded. And I don't even think he wants to be traded. I think this is just now what NFL players do when they're having contract disputes and have the leverage to do so. Here's why I don't think he's getting traded. Micah Parsons, you go right to the Khalil Mack deal, right? 2 first-round picks and a third-round pick to move him. Plus, you have to pay him. What team can afford to do that right now? No one's giving up multiple first-round picks and giving him $45 million a season. I'll tell you one thing. The Lions aren't doing that.
Well, duh.
It'd have to be a team with a rookie quarterback who's also ready to win now. The only team that I can possibly think of that fits that bill would be the Broncos. That's it. The Patriots could probably do it, but they're not ready to compete. So I think it's the Broncos or anybody else that's doing it. But I also think that Jerry Jones is inevitably just going to give him $45 million per season and make him the highest paid edge in the league.
That's kind of where
for Michael Parsons.
That's kind of where I lean as far as like, I think that they just will pay him, right? Jerry Jones has fumbled these contracts the last several years. It started with Dak, then it was CD last year. They just wait till they're the last people to get paid usually, which is obviously the opposite of how you want to approach these things. But I don't know, the way that it was worded by Parsons, saying I no longer want to play for the Cowboys, it wasn't just like, trade me because I'm not due to new contract. Like, he said I don't want to be on the Cowboys anymore.
So did Myles Garrett, and he signed a $40 million contract with the Browns.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I think they will still pay him, but Kay Adams throughout a team, the LA Chargers maybe, trade for Micah Parsons, that'd be kind of sick. But obviously, I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't know who their GM is. I don't know their GM's tendencies. They're a somewhat cheap organization, though. They don't usually swing for the fences on stuff like that. So that's an interesting team, though. But they've already paid their quarterback. That'd make it very difficult.
It would be. But like you said, I think if there was a team that was on a QB rookie deal, like, I don't know, the Chicago Bears, that would suck, right? That'd be really bad.
Or it'd be hilarious because their offense would might still be bad.
And they would still be bad, yeah. That would be funny.
And then they don't have first-round
just because they were the
picks.
ones that traded for Khalil Mack, I think that would have been kind of funny if that is the way how that goes.
I think they learned their lesson on that one, though. They would have potential to be in some pretty dangerous territory without their first-round picks for the next 2 seasons.
I would not put it away from Ryan Poles, man. He kind of seems like he is willing to do anything crazy at all times.
If they made that trade and then didn't make the playoffs, like, okay, let me ask you this. Does Micah Parsons make that a playoff team? I still kind of think the answer is no.
Oh, you're saying they learned their lesson from, well, what did they, like, from the Khalil Mack trade, you think?
It's like, yeah, if your offense isn't good, it doesn't matter.
Right.
And you still have so many question marks
But they
around
had the
Caleb
offensive
Williams.
coach. Like, they obviously clearly have to feel confident in that situation, right?
But imagine they don't make the playoffs for the next, like, this season after they trade for Parsons, and then they don't have their picks for the next 2 seasons.
It'd be pretty bad.
It'd be
terrible.
And because Ryan Poles automatic fire if that happens.
Yeah.
Automatic fire. Who wants that GM job then if you don't have first-round picks for the next 2 seasons? And you have Micah Parsons on contract.
I also feel like, though, Ryan Poles is like any bad move away from being fired. So it's like that's like a swing for the fences kind of thing.
Yes, you're right.
So we'll see. They could be a team that could be involved. But I'm with you that I don't think he gets traded. So
I would put it at like 30-1 for him actually to get traded.
I would agree.
Same with Terry McLaurin, not getting moved.
Yeah, I mean, I have something in the stocks later for that type of situation.
Okay.
But it's basically exactly what we're talking about right now.
Okay,
another big contract this weekend, but on the positive side of things, Luka Doncic has signed his extension with the LA Lakers, Ben. It's a 3-year, $165 million extension with a player option in the final year, which he probably 99.9% will opt out of because that's when he will be eligible for the big dummy Supermax deal, which he couldn't get because the Mavericks traded him. He would have been able to sign the type of deal that Shea got this offseason, which is where he's going to be making like $80 million a year by the end of it or something. No, it wasn't quite that much. It was high 60s, but he couldn't get that because he got traded, so not Supermax eligible. 3-year, $165 is what he has to settle for. Still pretty good.
Oh, yeah, settling for it.
Settling for over $50 million a year, yes.
Usually I don't buy into the best shape of your life stories. I think we've brought this up on more than one occasion.
Yeah.
This feels real, though.
Like, I mean, he looks like he's in the best shape of his career.
Yeah, I'm maybe buying Lakers stock when we get closer to the season. I won't do it today.
Okay.
I want to know where LeBron is. Why was he not at that picture?
Well, because he's on a yacht with Maverick Carter, and they're trying to plot for this new basketball league that Mav Carter's creating. You know,
the one over in Europe.
Yeah, whatever all that is. You know.
A lot of weird stuff going on with the NBA right now.
You know, and LeBron's been posting a lot of workout videos and everything. He's golfing with Bronny over the weekend. Like, he don't care about Luka.
I think it's so funny, too, that, like, everyone is just like, where's LeBron? Why is he not in this photo? And then he probably truly is at a point in his life where he does not give a singular F.
I mean, he obviously, there's not beef there, you know? Like, it's just...
He's just enjoying his life.
Exactly. I did hear, though, Bill Simmons related the Luka-LeBron situation to, like, when the dude has moved in his new, like, you're divorced with your wife, and he's moved in his new younger girlfriend into the house, but the ex-wife is, like, still there, and there's, like, the weird, like, overlap period between that.
You'd have to be a psychological man to do that. To have two different women living with you?
Sounds like Bills.
That's crazy.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
But that doesn't happen in real life, right?
Well, I mean, I think he just meant like she's coming over to your house and stuff, but like, you know, but the ex-wife has yet to move out.
You know, I can't say I can relate.
Yeah, I'm not quite there in my. I got it, you know. Okay. Tonight, Tigers Twins at 6:40, new series, and perfect time to play the Twins, obviously, for the Tigers, as we just mentioned. Casey Mize is on the hill, and it will be against a bullpen day of the Twins because they don't have 5 starting pitchers on their team.
Welcome to the club. The Tigers are out of that club. The Twins are in it.
Yeah, maybe the Tigers will return to that at some point. And I figured we might as well do a quick MLB standings check while we're here because we've had a good amount of games over the weekend. We're at that point in the season where you got to watch the top of the standings a little bit. So the Tigers are still tied for the best team in the American League with the Toronto Blue Jays at 65-48. Houston Astros still lead out west despite getting swept by the Red Sox this weekend, Ben. The Astros are 62-50, but the Red Sox 62-51. They've passed the Yankees, who got swept by the Marlins this weekend. And those are your 3 teams in the wild card right now, along with Seattle.
Getting swept by the Marlins, bad look, first of all. They need Judge back bad. Yeah. I don't know what his timeline is to return,
I will say,
but they need him bad.
You talk about the Yankees obviously making those big moves. All of the bullpen arms that they acquired over the weekend came into pitch on Friday, and they had a historic blown loss. The final score was like 16-15. Camilo Duvall gives up 3 runs. David Bednar gives up 2 or 3 runs. Jake Bird gives up 3 runs. Like, it was pretty hilarious that all the guys they went out and got lit up.
Was that in New York?
No, it was in Miami. First time that the Marlins have ever swept the Yankees. By the way. Thought that was kind of funny. Just because, like, I mean, it's not like the Marlins are a new team or anything. They've been around for some years. First time they've ever swept the Yankees. They're 30-14 in their last 44 games, which is tied for their best 44-game stretch in team history since 2003 when they beat the Yankees in the World Series.
Wait, say that again. That run.
They're 30-14 since June 13th. The Marlins are. They're back up to 500. Like, they're playing good baseball, man. Kind of weird. Weird stuff from the Marlins. They're not used to doing stuff like that.
No, they're not.
Okay, let's end the news here, and then we'll save the rest for later. I don't know if you caught it this weekend, Ben. The Speedway Classic yesterday. Reds-Braves
yesterday
on the
and
NASCAR
Saturday.
track. Yeah. Eli White hits 2 bombs for the Braves that both landed on the track as they beat the Reds yesterday in that game.
What, it was the most attended game in MLB history. I didn't really get it. I'm not going to lie. I didn't get it. I didn't get the draw. I didn't get the appeal.
Well, you know, it's just like they're trying to do what they've done the past couple years. Last year they had the Little League game.
Yep.
Tigers-Yankees. Obviously the Field of Dreams game is kind of the big special event game that happened a few years back. And they tried to do this NASCAR one. I thought it was kind of cool. I do have a little bit of a take on it later, though.
Okay. Sounds like you're ready to go for this next segment.
Yeah.
A Monday tradition. The stock market exchange when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Allie Huntoon, the director and founder of Allied HR Solutions and Allied Group Fitness.
Lean on people I trust to help me get through things too. If I know that I'm overwhelmed or I need support with something, you know, I usually try to reach out. Sometimes I'm still trying to do things all myself.
Yep.
And that's a learning curve too. Delegation is your friend.
Yep.
I'm learning that.
Something I definitely do.
So I think it's leaning on your team. I think it's putting things into perspective. You know, even though HR is very important and we have things all the time that come up with terminations or discrimination or harassment.
Listen to the full interview with Allie on YouTube on 100.9 The Mitt. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
Tired of floors that snore? Walls that whisper, meh. Premier Tile in Midland is here to spice things up one tile at a time. They've got backsplash that'll make your pasta jealous.
What?
Shower walls that'll actually sing in the morning. And floors so fabulous, you'll consider eating dinner off them. Stylish, affordable, slightly obsessed with grout. Visit Premier Tile, located between Stark and Sturgeon, right off US 10. or at PremierTileStone.com.
Get ready for a double dose of fun with Greater Midland races. August 1st, it's Run the River, a scenic 5K along the Tridge during River Days. Runners 21 and older get a complimentary drink ticket to use at the Rotary tent. You're literally running for the pint. Then, on August 8th, race through Dow Diamond at the Loons Pennant Race. Cross home plate and score a free lawn ticket to that night's game. Sign up now at greatermidland.org/races. Greater Midland, making Midland a better community one step and one race at a time.
Detours driving you bonkers? Ideal Party Store's got your back with the Detour discount. While the Lafayette Bridge is closed, enjoy 10% off select craft beer 6-packs and 10% off 4 bottles of select wine, 750 milliliters or more, with 2 great locations, 908 North Johnson on the east side and 401 Salzburg on the west side. Ideal Party Store makes every detour worth it. Serving Bay City since 1934, we're here to make you the life of the party.
You're invited to Louie Loon's birthday party presented by My Michigan Health. Sunday, August 10th at Dow Diamond. Join all of Lou's friends at the ballpark as we celebrate the best waterfowl mascot in all of sports. To add to the party festivities, the Loons will wear special Disney-themed Mickey Mouse jerseys that fans can bid on during a live online auction. For tickets, head to loons.com. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mine stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt for the most passionate fans in Michigan. Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters?
Yeah.
100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
They tell us we're more connected these days. We have cell phones, email, text messaging, yet we've never felt more disconnected from the people we care about the most. We need a place that's all about bringing us together. Say hello to the Great Lakes Bay region, where towns like Saginaw, Midland, Bay City, Birch Run, Chesaning, and Frankenmuth help us leave behind the overscheduled world we live in and visit a place we haven't seen in a while. One where the people make us feel right at home. And we remember just how bright our kids' eyes get, peeking through a riverboat railing, just to catch a glimpse of the wildlife. So let's go fishing, bird watching. Let's blow the suds off a local tap, take a tall ship dinner cruise at sunset, or stop by a festival just because the name made us smile. Right here in the Great Lakes Bay region, where reconnecting with what really matters is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
It's one of my favorite things on a Monday. It's one of the things I look forward to all weekend long. It is the Monday morning stock exchange.
You know what? I'm not leaving.
I'm not leaving.
The stock market.
The show goes on.
All right, Kyle, how about you kick us off? Because you seemed excited about this in the last segment. After the weekend, what are you buying and selling your stock on in the sports world?
I got a lot of stuff today. A good mix of buy and sells, a lot of sports-related things. But I will kick off with the thing that I kind of teased earlier, I am selling an Alex Cobb return.
You're out on the idea of him coming back.
I don't think he's coming back.
I almost don't want him to.
Emily Walden this weekend posted just him from a side angle on Twitter, basically just of his mechanics of him in his second rehab start with West Michigan on the second time around. Man, does he look like he is in a ton of pain. And it looks a lot better this time than it did early in the year when he rehabbed with West Michigan, so I guess I'll give him that. But, God, it just does not look comfortable, dude. And I will say, like, I do kind of respect Alex Cobb for at least trying to do something through this. Like, he's making $15 million a year. He's clearly injured. He could just not do this at all, right?
Kyle, if someone gave you $15 million to just kind of do a few rehab starts and go through a little bit of pain and discomfort for the year,
but he doesn't even have to do that. You get what I'm saying? Like, he's already making his money. He could just say, yeah, I'm hurt. I'm going to get surgery, and I'm done for the season.
Oh, he's had 3 rehab starts. Like, what do you mean? That's the least he could do.
He has no reason to do that. Like, he clearly needs to get surgery. This guy is in a ton of, like, it looks so uncomfortable with his
movement. He should have retired last year.
But he could make $15 million, Ben. So
yeah, because Scott Harris was...
Once again, I'm not talking about Scott Harris here. I'm talking about Alex Cobb.
Okay. I'm sorry.
But I
get worked up about this contract, man. It's
I agree.
Really insane.
I agree. But all I'm saying is I don't think he comes back. He looks super uncomfortable. Just look him up on Twitter. Just some of this stuff, even his warm-up pitches, it's just like, oh, my God. There's just no way this guy makes it through 3 starts, even if he gets back to the majors.
I'm uncomfortable talking about Alex Cobb at all points because it feels like we're dancing around a fraud conversation.
You're in pain talking about him, yes. So I'm out on the Alex Cobb return. I'm selling that.
Okay, I'm buying stock on Raising Cane's, man.
What?
There needs to be one. There is one coming to Saginaw, so I'm going to buy stock on this.
Too.
One coming to Mount Pleasant and Saginaw. So I will be buying stock on these before they arrive, and there's one coming to GR as well. So I went down to Kentucky this weekend, go visit some old college friends, and on the way down we stop and get it, and it's so good. I forget how good it is every time I get it. And then it was so good that on the way home on Sunday, I was like, we have to stop again and get Raising Cane's once again.
That's kind of crazy.
And I went and got the biggest meal you could, that $17 box where you get the 6 tendies, the fries. I don't need any coleslaw. Give me double fries. I can't believe how good it is.
That's what I was just going to ask. Are you getting the coleslaw or not?
Hell no.
Oh, I'm out. Like, you've ruined it, you know? You need the coleslaw.
I can't eat it by itself.
Everyone always is like, oh, don't get the coleslaw. Get double bread. Dude, you're already eating a ton of breaded chicken. You want more bread?
I went with the double fries.
Okay, that's still worse.
I'm buying
the coleslaw is like the good, like it helps you. I don't know.
It's disgusting.
Okay.
I'm buying stock in Raising Cane's. Okay. I can't believe how good it is.
That's a pretty good one. I do want to say too. I see you drinking the Celsius this morning. You seen what's been going on with the Celsius stuff?
Yeah, I'm feeling a little loopy this morning.
Is that one of them tainted ones?
I think it is. Whoa, starting to slur my words a little bit.
Okay, I got another buy. I'll do another. Actually, I'm gonna do a really stupid one. So I was looking at some of the college football stuff this weekend, right? Because college football is coming up. I am buying stock on August 30th. Because August 30th has Texas at Ohio State and LSU Clemson. Week 1, what a way to kick off. I mean, obviously Week 0 happens, but wow. And there's a ton of games that Friday, so MSU, Western. But Texas, Ohio State, and then LSU Clemson, a battle of probably the 2 best quarterbacks in the country this year.
Yeah.
And then Ohio State v. Texas. Oh, my gosh. This is going to be unreal. I'm buying stock on August 30th.
And that's a noon game, too?
Yeah, noon, and then the LSU Clemson's at night.
Brother, I hate to break it to you. I really do. But I believe we're going to be at Dow Diamond that day. Yeah.
That's okay.
7 o'clock game. Hey, we can watch that noon game.
Yeah, we can watch that
Texas,
game.
Ohio State. Yeah, that's about as good as it gets for a Week 1 matchup.
Oh,
that's
man.
The Fox game.
So big. I can't wait for that. And it's before the NFL season kicks off, too, so that's like the real first taste of football.
You got a guess for the spread on that one?
Texas, Ohio State?
Yeah.
It's at Ohio State, so give me them minus 3.5.
2.5.
Ooh.
For the Buckeyes. You got a guess on LSU Clemson. Like you said, 2 best quarterbacks.
That is at a neutral site, right? I don't think that game is at Clemson. I could be wrong.
No, it's at Clemson.
Oh, is it? Okay. I thought it was at Mercedes-Benz or something. I think there's another game that is. I'll say Clemson, same thing, minus 2.5.
3.5.
Oh, great. Just got them mixed up.
Nice.
Awesome.
That should be fun.
All right, what's your next buy or sell?
Let's go with I'll I'll buy some Dave Fipstock, the Lions special teams coordinator, after a disaster of a performance in the Hall of Fame game. He had multiple muffed punts, the fumble from Grant Stewart to kick things off. Usually he's pretty solid special teams guy. Lions ranked out pretty well each of the last few seasons. So while it's down after a pretty disastrous game from all the second and third strings, I'll buy some Dave Fipstock.
Okay. I like that. It seems like a good time to buy the Phip stock. Yeah, I mean, he's always been like, I don't want to say one of the best coordinators, but like for a special teams guy, he makes his name known. You know, he does stuff on special teams that gets his name out there.
He's also just a weirdo.
In a good way, though.
Yes.
Like a sicko. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I got one. And this we talked about this earlier. I'm selling these MLB specialized games things.
I love this.
I'm only doing it, and I'm not like, I hate to be the guy that's just like, oh, who cares? Like, I did watch a little bit of the game, honestly, yesterday. It was fine, but the issue is the first year of them doing this stuff when they brought back the Field of Dreams game, people forget they went there a second time too, but the first year they brought it back, it will never, ever top that. Nope. Any of these special games will never be as good as that White Sox-Yankees game, Tim Anderson walk-off homer after Judge hit the home run in the inning before. The game will never be topped, so there's no way they'll ever have a better game than that one, so just stop trying to do all this stuff. That's kind of where I'm at. Because everyone's just like, oh, this game doesn't hit the same as the Field of Dreams. I saw Big Cat tweet like, why don't they just go to the Field of Dreams every year? Probably because none of the games will ever be as good as that first one. You know?
Yeah. I would rather them almost play in like some old historical stadiums that are just kind of vacant now, rather than like show up to a NASCAR event. I just don't really know who that was for. I really don't.
I mean, I don't know either. NASCAR fans, probably.
I guess.
Yeah, I really don't know either.
It was also one of those things that I didn't
though.
realize was happening until like the day before. I was like, wait, they're doing what?
Yeah, I also didn't. They had pretty cool jerseys though, like NASCAR-themed jerseys. I thought they were kind of cool. Like it was fine, but it was just, I'm gonna forget about it by tomorrow.
I'm selling my stock on one-way streets. It's just way too confusing. And you'd think they'd
wow,
be...
the people of Midland have something to say about that.
I know. And look, I get it. They theoretically should be easier, but sometimes the streets aren't labeled very correctly. And I feel like it leads to more confusion than just a normal road. You know?
Right.
There tends to be more accidents. I don't have any statistical evidence to back this up. Zero.
Yeah, but there
so
does
don't
tend
come
to be,
at
though,
me.
right? Yeah.
But I feel like there tends to be more confusion and accidents where there's one-ways compared to when there's not. And there's a lot of one-ways in this town, and sometimes I just get a little confused.
I think it just gets confusing when there's one-ways, but then there's a mix of non-one. Like there's
Yes.
a mix of two-way streets as well that are grouped in with them.
I think we should just not have those anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. When I was in Chicago, Siri told me to go down street that wasn't a one-way. Or like it was. Yeah, exactly. It told me to go the opposite way down a one-way street, and it was like, I'm not doing that, Siri, because I could clearly tell.
Thank you for your help, Siri, but
Yeah.
I'm all set on this one.
Okay, I got one more, and then I'll save the rest for later. I'm buying stock on my sand wedge for my short chipping game.
Okay.
Because I've made the switch, and boy, has it really helped. When you and I went golfing the other day, obviously, I chipped in. This past weekend, I went golfing again. I chipped in again, Ben.
Wow.
I've chipped in on back-to-back outings.
What'd you shoot?
I did not shoot very good overall. I shot like a 51 through 9. Didn't play 18. So not good, but I chipped in again, and I made the switch to my sand wedge for the short chipping game, and it's really made a big difference. So that's the stock I'm buying.
I'm so happy for you that
Thank you, man.
you've discovered this. One day I'll hope to shoot what you're shooting, Kyle.
I mean, that's not a great goal to shoot for. Maybe you should shoot a little bit higher than that.
Baby steps.
Yes.
Got to do baby steps. First, you got to crack 110. Then you got to crack 105 before you can even think about cracking 100. You know?
Right. Very true.
989-837-6125. What are you guys selling? What are you guys buying here on this Monday in terms of your stocks? We can get to some of those in a little bit. We'll do more stock exchange to close the 10 o'clock hour, but we've got to get some Detroit Lions in the mix as well, because I was looking around, scrolling through generic sports books this weekend, and I realized the Lions were underdogs against this Packers team that they have owned for the past 3 seasons. I think this might be a free money alert. We'll jump into some of the numbers when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt. And just so you know, it is, well into golf season. And if you're like me, you're looking for new places to play. And golfers, you don't have to look any further. Apple Mountain in Freeland, where every round comes with a side of scenic perfection. Championship-level courses, beautifully maintained, just the right mix of challenge and fun. I certainly don't need any extra challenge, but this is the perfect course for a mix of both. When you've wrapped up 18, head to Apple Mountain Restaurant, the perfect place for casual elegance and spectacular views. Whether you're playing for score or just soaking up the atmosphere, Apple Mountain is your place to unwind, recharge, and enjoy the game. Apple Mountain Golf in Freeland. It's minutes away, but miles from ordinary. We'll be right back. The Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
It's the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This month's recipient is Scarlett Mason from Standish Sterling High School. With a 4.3 GPA, Scarlett's a member of the track and field team and a state champion in swimming. Scarlett, a member of the National Honor Society, and PALS, a student support group.
We get qualified, and then we are someone that, if a student is uncomfortable talking to an adult, they can come talk to us about what's going on at home or whatever they're struggling with. The biggest thing was it raised mental health awareness, and I think that's huge in high school.
Scarlett will be attending and swimming at Wayne State in the fall. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themitt.com.
Isaiah, how did you get all wet?
I was playing in the rain.
Son, you're in the house. It's not raining inside. Or is it?
Yeah, it's in the kitchen.
What?
Oh no, the roof has a leak.
Leak? That's a waterfall.
We need that fixed now.
Rexy Siding and Building Repair can fix it.
What, son?
Any job, anywhere. Bresky can do it all.
Call Bresky right now and get that roof fixed. And while you're at it, have him fix the gutters.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today.
A beautiful yard increases both the value of your home and the quality of your life. Commercially, landscaping creates a positive impression of your professionalism and commitment to community, customers, and employees. Cervinsky Sod has been creating and maintaining outdoor spaces for 56 years. Whether your project is residential or commercial, the team at Cervinsky Sod Services will work with you to build and meet budgets and finish the job with top quality and in a timely manner. To get a quote, call 989-835-4810 or visit CervinskySodService.com.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace Hardware and Sports in downtown Midland has some extra savings for rewards members this month. Let's clean up that yard. Save $3 instantly on select Roundup and Ortho weed killers. Save $10 on 64-ounce spruce, weed, and grass killer. You know what season it is? Grilling season. Free assembly and delivery on grills, $399 and up from brands like Weber and Traeger. Need that deck touched up? Do it and save $10 instantly on a gallon of Cabot exterior stain.
Follow the Yellow Brick Road to Dow Diamond on Saturday, August 9th for wonderful Wizard of Oz night. There's no place like home as the Great Lakes Loons host the Lansing Lugnuts. After the game, defy gravity with a fireworks loontacular presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. Grab your tickets now at loons.com and get ready for a night that's truly over the rainbow. This isn't just baseball. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
Welcome back in. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt, YouTube, and Facebook. Please hit that subscribe and like button if you haven't already. You guys can text in as well, 989-837-6125. Kyle, I got a funny joke for you if you'd like to hear one.
Oh, let's hear it.
I don't think I've ever just told a joke on this show before.
Well, usually all your takes are jokes anyways, you know?
Thanks, man.
What's your joke?
The joke is that the Lions are underdogs in week 1 against this Green Bay team.
Ooh.
And I have a hard time even believing that this is real. I feel like I've been gifted a free bet, and it's not even a free bet. It's just, well, it feels like one. You know, when whatever sports book you use gives you a bonus bet or whatever, and you can put it on whatever you want. Just bet $5 and win $5 back or whatever it is.
Oh, what a deal.
I know. That's what it feels like this Lions game, or this Week 1 Lions game is. And I almost feel like once everyone starts to look at this a little bit more intensely and the Week 1 schedule finally rolls around, I'm not at all going to be surprised if this ends up flipping at some point. Green Bay's 1.5-point favorites right now. When it first came out, the line, I was somewhat surprised by this. It hasn't really moved since then, but I feel like the closer we get to this Week 1 matchup, the more likely it is to flip in some way, shape, or form in favor of the Detroit Lions, because this Lions team has owned and dominated this Packers team for the better part of 3 years. They're 6-1 versus Green Bay in their last 7 games, 3-0 at Lambeau, which is where this game is, with a plus 37 run differential. It feels like they get up for the Green Bay game more than they do for the Bears, more than they do for the Vikings, and they do take this game personally, where I don't know if Green Bay plays with that same edge that the Lions do. I feel like we are in the middle of a it's really hard to compare anything to what Tom Brady did to the rest of the AFC East, but it does feel like there's some element of, I think the gears have shifted here to where the Lions are going to own this Green Bay rivalry for a long time. It's just the way they talk about this other team. They despise them. They hate them. They love getting up and playing against Green Bay. Against is probably. I think they get up for this game in a way that is just very unique, that I lack seeing that side of aggression from Green Bay. And I keep coming back to this question. What is it that the Packers do better than the Lions right now? What is the one position group that would outrank the Lions in terms of where they lay in the rest of the NFL? And you can go look at every team's strengths, every team weaknesses, and most articles out there will tell you the Packers' biggest strength is their safety room with Xavier McKinney, all-pro guy this year, Pro Bowler. The Lions have the best safety tandem in the NFL in Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph. I fail to see one thing that the Packers have that is better than what the Lions have. They do not have a better set of weapons. They do not have a better offensive line, despite the Lions losing 2 starters this past offseason. I don't think they have a better quarterback. Maybe they have a quarterback with better traits and is theoretically better, but he just simply has not outperformed Jared Goff in his years as a starter. That's Jordan Love. Their cornerback room might be one of the worst in the NFL now, at least from an experience standpoint, now that Jair Alexander isn't on the team. And I know he was banged up a lot of the time anyway, so maybe that's an addition by subtraction. But regardless, you're replacing him with guys that have barely played NFL games. I don't think the Packers get to sit here potentially going on 3 consecutive seasons where the first-round pick does not hit. This year it's Matthew Golden, TBD. I'm not very high on him. But 2024, Jordan Mason, he's a backup offensive tackle now. That was their first-round pick then. In 2023, still TBD whether or not Van Ness is going to be a starter here. I don't think you get to have 3 consecutive seasons where you're not really hitting on these first-round picks and still expect to be one of the better teams in the NFL. That comes up to catch you at some point, and I feel like for the Packers, this is the season it's going to. I simply lack the understanding of why the Packers are favored, first of all, and also why this Packers team is viewed as Super Bowl contenders in the first place. It does not feel like they are good enough to beat the top teams in the NFL. It feels like they're a team that will consistently beat up on the bad teams, but lose to teams like the Lions, the Eagles. I'd throw a healthy Rams into that mix. Washington, when they're buzzing too. We'll see what happens with Terry McLaurin. But it feels like there's a significant gap between them and the top-tier teams in the NFC. Am I the crazy one here, or am I onto something? Because the way Vegas views it is the Packers are the second-best team in the NFC North.
Yeah.
I strongly disagree with that.
Yeah, I mean, from all the articles that we've been looking through this entire offseason, like through Around the League and stuff, it's not just one person that views this Packers team highly. Like, they are viewed pretty highly across the NFL. Right now, just plus 230 to win the division when the Lions are plus 160. That's pretty tight. Packers are second. I think you and I both agree that the Vikings are the second-best team in this division, correct?
Yeah.
And when you look at Green Bay, as far as this rivalry has gone with Detroit, I mean, remember years ago when the Lions hadn't won in Lambeau for like 20 years?
Mm-hmm.
That has completely shifted. And like you said, there's a little bit of something different when the Lions play Green Bay. The Lions get up for them differently. And I think maybe that all sparks back to a couple years ago when the Lions can't get into the playoffs, but the Packers can, and Detroit just wants to stop them from doing so. And even without Aaron Rodgers there, it still feels like they have that edge against the Packers, which I absolutely love, when it wasn't that way for the longest time. So as far as like how they rank across the league and why they are viewed so highly, I mean, they have been a playoff team, and they have been very successful under Matt LaFleur. He has been nothing but, as far as a regular season coach goes, getting a ton of wins on the season. I don't really love the guy, but you have to admit it. I mean, he's been nothing but spectacular. He wins double-digit games nearly every single season.
Yeah.
And this division obviously is loaded, but people also view Jordan Love, I think, a little bit differently than both you and I perspective on him is. Not extremely high on Jordan Love as far as this Super Bowl caliber, top 10 type quarterback, whereas a lot of people do view him that way. So I'm with you on this Packers thing. I'm not all in on them. Them being favored over the Lions, sure, I guess because it's week 1, and week 1 is just a really difficult week to figure out as far as who's going to win games, and it's in Lambeau, whatever. I don't think that should matter. I'm with you, man. I got to go splash on this bet because it seems like that's the play.
I think week 1 is actually the best time for the people who have been nosediving into all the offseason stuff. Oh, yeah, this is the time to catch the books.
It's so unpredictable, I feel like, though. Like, even for Vegas, it's just them setting the lines. It's just like, you don't know what to expect.
You don't know what to expect, but, like, Vegas plays to the public perception, right? The casual fan. What do you think?
Especially for week 1, too.
Especially for week 1. If you were really nosediving into everything in the offseason, which I'm like 33% of the way done with really like my offseason plan, I feel pretty confident in a couple of teams, like looking at those spreads. Like, hey, I think this team's actually a lot better than this spread says. But anyway, back to the Lions-Packers thing. For the longest time, and you mentioned this, the Packers were the Lions' bully. And the Lions had no self-defense. They couldn't defend themselves. They got beat up by Aaron Rodgers time in and time out.
Losing in stupid ways, Hail Marys.
And the Lions have flipped that to where they are now the bullies. They're not just beating up on this Packers team, but they're kind of rubbing it in their face a little bit. Amon-Ra's doing headstands in the end zone in Lambeau. You've got Lions fans getting in Matt LaFleur's head before the game even kicks off in Ford Field. I don't think the Packers understand how big of a game it is for the Lions on a year-to-year basis, on a game-to-game basis, those 2 games for the year. I don't think the Packers are circling those Lions games the same way that the Lions have always circled these Packers games. And I don't think the Lions are a team that's going to get comfortable in any way in terms of, hey, we've owned this team, we always beat this team, no big deal here. Because you heard Amon-Ra say over the weekend, we like being underdogs. Like, we like being in a position to where no one believes in us again. And I don't know if there's anyone out there saying, I don't believe in the Lions. Granted, you'll find a few people that are like, hey, they lost both their coordinators. This team's going to take a massive step back. I think they'll take a little step back regular season-wise. I mean, pretty hard to go 15 wins back-to-back seasons, number 1 offense 2 years in a row. So statistically, maybe they're a worse team. But from a what can they achieve, it's going to be a better team than what they were rolling out against the Commanders based on all those injuries. So,
I mean, remember when St. Brown wore the Green Bay Sucks hoodie?
They hate them.
They hate these guys, man.
It's one of the true good rivalries in the NFL.
It's awesome.
Where I think the NFL lacks a lot of rival. Like, everyone says, oh, Packers, Bears. It's a one-sided rivalry.
I still think that's like the best rivalry, though.
Is it?
As far as like
when are those games ever good?
It just gets talked about so much. And like as far as I mean, to me a true rivalry comes down to how much the fan bases despise each other. And Packers Bears hate each other, man.
More than Packers Lions?
Oh, I think so. Like the Lions' biggest rival is Green Bay, yes, but the Green Bay Chicago rivalry is larger.
I don't think either of those are the best rivalry in the NFL right now, though.
Well, maybe not right now. I guess I'm just going from like a grand perspective thing. What do you think is right now?
Chiefs Bills.
Is it though? I mean, like, sure, yeah, I guess so. They play every year in the playoffs, essentially. But they, like you said, I mean, if you're taking the one-way thing on Packers Bears, that's the definition of a one-way rivalry.
Yes, and
Bills can
yes
beat them in
no.
the regular season, sure, but like
Right.
they don't care. Chiefs are just going to win the playoffs.
And then some sort of combination between Lamar and one of those two guys, I think, is second. It's just those three guys. Anytime those three guys face off against each other, I think it's must-watch TV.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, those. It's more based on players and where the Lions truly have like a team versus team rivalry with Green Bay. And I don't think it matters who's playing on that other team. The Lions just hate the idea of the Packers. And I think it's gone in their head to where they're picking up all these misconduct penalties. I know that's just a college thing, but like these
like
unnecessary
the
reference.
getting ejected from that game last year, that was just ridiculous.
Right. They play with a chip on their shoulder against this. I mean, they play with a chip on their shoulder every week.
Right.
But it feels like they play with a chip
like
on each shoulder when it comes to this Packers team.
In a time where the Bears-Lions rivalry almost feels like it should be bigger because of Ben Johnson now going to Chicago, and just the rise of that team. Caleb Williams is like a villain-type quarterback or whatever. They still hate Green Bay more. Even after Aaron Rodgers is left, they really don't even give you a ton of reasons to hate him, other than like Xavier McKinney's a guy that likes to talk a lot of talk.
They don't have to give us a reason. FTP.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
like,
what the Lions live by.
That's exactly what I'm saying. In a time that it doesn't matter. Like, Green Bay is still enemy number one, and the Lions being underdogs, I know that obviously they shouldn't be looking at that kind of stuff, and they don't need any extra motivation to win that game. But as a fan, it gives me some extra motivation, right?
Yeah. I think they do see that stuff, and they use it as fuel.
Some of them obviously see that stuff.
Whoa. 989-837-6125. We'll take a trip around the league when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Midland Eye Care wants you to know, according to a recent study conducted by the AOA, the Optical Laboratories Association, and the Vision Council, nearly half of all glasses ordered online had either prescription errors or failed to meet minimum safety standards. Midland Eye Care offers a full-service optical department meeting all your eye care needs. So call your local Midland Eye Care and avoid incorrect prescriptions costing you time and money. Midland Eye Care, your vision source on Eastman Road in Midland, on Cedar and Gladwin, and on East Washington and Freeland.
Mountain View Restaurant at Apple Mountain, where casual elegance meets breathtaking views. Our new expanded menu features a wide variety of dishes to satisfy every palate, from fresh seasonal options to your all-time favorites. Whether you're hosting a client lunch, enjoying happy hour, or planning a date night, we have the perfect setting for every occasion. Don't miss our weekly features and refreshing beverages. In the summer, dine al fresco on our beautiful patio and soak in the scenery. Mountain View, where great food meets spectacular views.
Hey Midland, join the Silver Sneakers and Renew Active programs at the Midland Community Center, where fitness for seniors is fun and free. With Silver Sneakers and Renew Active, seniors 65 and older enjoy access to Greater Midland Community Center, North Family Center, and Coleman Family Center, all at no extra cost with eligible Medicare Advantage plans. Dive into all group fitness classes, exclusive Silver Sneakers classes, and our Greater Midland Walking Club. Get moving with Silver Sneakers and Renew Active at the Midland Community Center.
Midland, are you ready? The Gus Macker 3-on-3 basketball tournament is back, and it all kicks off Friday at 6 p.m. with the Heroes Tournament. Come cheer on local legends, law enforcement, firefighters, EMS, and veterans as they battle it out for bragging rights on the blacktop. Then, the real madness begins August 9th and 10th with the official Gus Macker tournament. Teams, thrills, and buckets all weekend long. Bring the family, grab some food, and feel the energy downtown Midland. Details at gusmacker.com. Don't miss it.
You're invited to Louie Loon's birthday party presented by My Michigan Health. Sunday, August 10th at Dow Diamond. Join all of Lou's friends at the ballpark as we celebrate the best waterfowl mascot in all of sports. To add to the party festivities, the Loons will wear special Disney-themed Mickey Mouse jerseys that fans can bid on during a live online auction. For tickets, head to loons.com. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt for the most passionate fans in Michigan. From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Loons.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, welcome back in. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt. Hope everyone's having a good start to their week on this Monday in the Great Lakes Bay region. Happy Monday to everyone watching on YouTube as well. Just a real quick comment that we got from Ian in our chat. He said Bengals-Chiefs best rivalry in the NFL. That Travis Kelce called the mayor of Cincinnati a jabroni.
Oh, I forgot about that.
It's a good one.
And
I don't
the
think it
Bengals
tops-
have beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. They're like the only team that's done that. So I guess that kind of gives them a little bit of an edge over the other teams.
Fluke of all flukes.
I mean, it still happened though, right? I mean, we can't just. I feel like if we're putting a Bengals rivalry in there, it has to be Bengals-Steelers though. Like that's just an elite rivalry. Remember the years past with Vontaze Burfict and Juju and AB, like that is like a definition of, oh my God, I hate you rivalry.
But if I was going to pick an AFC North rivalry, I think it'd be Steelers-Ravens.
Yeah.
I have a
Steelers versus the AFC North is just good. Like I will give that to the Steelers fans. They are just really good at hating their other teams in the division.
Yeah, but usually they're bad games. I have a betting Bible of every rule I've ever given myself, and one of the rules I put is just don't. I forget the exact verbiage of it. I can pull it up, but I think it's just like don't bet on any touchdown scores in Steelers versus AFC North.
Yeah,
games.
that's
There's
fair.
just not going to be touchdowns scored.
Yeah, that's probably a good play. I like that. Man, this is why I want the NBA to go back to the division winner gets the top 3 seeds in the standings.
Oh.
I was thinking somebody brought this up to me this weekend. I can't remember why. And they're like, "Why did they go away from that?" And I was like, "Dude, you're right. I don't know why they went away from that because it would make the divisions way cooler." It used to be that way like 15 years ago, 10 years ago.
I'm just glad the NFL decided to not do the thing that the Lions proposed, that they actually took off the table and didn't end up proposing. But remember, there was that talk for like a couple.
Yeah, what was up with the Lions
hot
doing
minute
that,
there.
man?
Well, they wanted to protect themselves from the situation that they could have been
the
in
North
last
is
year.
really good. Yeah,
right. With the Vikings should have
So?
been the 2 seed or whatever. Like, no, win your division. Those games should matter more.
Agreed.
All right, with all this NFL talk, let's take a trip around the league.
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
Okay. We've been talking about it all day. A lot of offseason buzz going on. Man, football's almost back, Ben. Kind of weird. We got like a month from real football happening. Preseason for all the other teams kicks off this weekend. Lions-Falcons will be playing, but obviously second game for Detroit. But we'll get to see all the other teams this weekend. Is there any team in particular you're like really looking ahead to be like, I want to see what happens with this?
In preseason?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Unless Travis Hunter plays, but I don't think he will.
Right. But basically today we're going to be talking about some NFL offseason buzz from Fox Sports. Basically just hopping around different training camps, talking about some storylines that are going on. And then I have a few other ones that I kind of have searched around for as well that weren't included in this article that we can get to.
Run it.
All right, first off, Titans head coach Brian Callahan calls out his offense after a sloppy practice yesterday, Ben. Obviously, they're led by rookie quarterback Cam Ward, #1 overall pick, but it sounds like 4 of 13 passes through 2 drills. The offense is not looking great, so he called him out in the media.
I'm actually not worried about this Titans offense. Is it going to be like a spectacular thing that's going on? No, not at all. But listen to this Cam Ward quote from over the weekend.
I've grown up, watched my dad wake up at 4:30 doing a job he didn't like. So, if I can't wake up early and do what I need to do for a job I do like, I shouldn't be playing football. And that goes for everybody in the locker room. If you can't have the expectation for yourself that you want to be whether a good or a great player and want to put the work in, I just think that's how it should go. I just think good things only come to those who work.
You got to want it in the NFL.
Man.
That sounds like a Detroit Lion talking.
That was inspiring right there, dude.
Doesn't that sound like someone the Lions would have taken? If they were in this, that sounds like something.
The mindset. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's. I like Cam Ward, man. I don't know what the Titans are going to be this year. I wouldn't be surprised if they surprised some people. Not to say that they're going to have a Jaden Daniels season or a C.J. Stroud rookie season by any stretch, because I think this team is less talented than any of those other ones compared to those rookie seasons. But I like Cam Ward, man. I think he's coachable. He said another thing. It's like, yeah, the offense is not very good right now. The exact words he said were, this offense is mid right now. I think he's a coachable guy. I think this is the right mindset. At the end of the day, you got to want it. Every time I've heard this guy talk in front of a microphone, it's just like gold. Like, it's exactly what you want to hear from a franchise quarterback. So I like Cam Ward, man. I'm not worried about him.
We continue to bring it up, man. He's the least talked about first overall pick, which maybe the fact we keep bringing it up makes him not the least talked about, but there just has not been a lot of discussion about Cam Ward, and maybe that's because he's on the Titans and the team just probably isn't going to be very good. But I don't know. I'm starting to swoop myself into the Cam Ward hype a little bit more.
Yeah.
Which I haven't really been for a while.
I didn't remember that in November of last year, planting my flag on, like, this is the number 1 overall pick. Because remember, for a long time, it was like, is it going to be him or Shedeur? Right side of history on that
was
one.
Close, dude.
He, I loved his game in college, man. I really did. You can't rush him.
I'm going to have to make my pick early on who the number 1 QB will be next year now that you say that.
You don't have to do it right now.
Well, yeah, but in like a couple months,
Yeah.
once we get like a majority of the way through the college season, because it's up in the air at the moment. Okay, speaking of one of the quarterbacks from LSU, let's talk about a former LSU player now on the Jets. Rookie tight end Mason Taylor, son of former Hall of Fame edge rusher Jason Taylor, has been going off in training camp, Ben. That's what the word on the street is, the former second-round pick in last year's draft. Seems like he's got a great connection with Justin Fields.
We don't do a lot of fantasy football talk on this show, but I'll put my reputation on the line on this one. Draft Mason Taylor. His ADP is 170 in drafts
Is there
right
even
now.
170 picks?
What round would that be? I mean, would that be the 17th round if you're in a 10-man league? So he's
Yeah.
going undrafted.
Yeah, he's going undrafted.
In a lot of these leagues. On ESPN, he's ranked as the 34th tight end. How's that even possible? This
Wait,
is a rookie.
34th?
34th.
Jeez.
There's going to be, he's going to make an impact from day one. He's a second-round pick. He's going to be a security blanket for Justin Fields. Here's the best way I can put it. Do you know who the Jets' wide receiver 2 is? Obviously, Garrett Wilson is their 1. Do you know who their second top target is in the wide receiver group?
Ooh, man, they lost Allen Lazard. I genuinely have no idea.
It is Josh Reynolds.
I did not even know they got Josh Reynolds.
Mason Taylor is going to have an immediate impact on this team, whether he's going off in training camp or not. Take him.
Okay.
Draft him.
I like that pick. Let's move on to another AFC East team. The Buffalo Bills, Ben, are getting banged up in training camp. Their list of injuries on their 53-man roster has grown to 15 players. It sounds like Khalil Shakir has been recently added to that. He's week to week. Josh Palmer, who Fox Sports notes as one of the team's prized offseason free agent additions. Okay, interesting. He's now hurt from their red and blue scrimmage this past weekend. And then linebacker Shaq Thompson. So major injuries piling up at Bills training camp. And also to add into it, I don't know if you saw this, James Cook is now doing a hold-in at Bills training camp. He had been participating for the last week or two. Now he's there, but is not practicing because he wants a new contract.
I don't know if it's possible for a team led by Josh Allen to have a season from hell because it feels like he just fixes 90% of your team's issues because he's Josh Allen. But maybe this is a season from hell watch team.
Okay.
Last year, obviously, San Fran.
Right.
You could talk yourself into the Lions, but at the end of the day, they had 15 wins.
And, wouldn't last year have been the season from hell? Everyone on the defense got injured. There's just no way that happens again, right?
For the Bills or Lions?
For the Lions.
Yeah,
if they were going to have a season, wouldn't it have been last year?
Yeah, and they still managed
And
to
they
have 15
won
wins.
15 games? Yeah.
But the ultimate season from hell was the Niners.
Yes.
Based on everything that happened, dating all the way back to Ayuk asking for a trade and then tearing his ACL and Tebow asking for a trade.
Contract up in the air the whole season. Yeah.
Right. First-round pick getting shot.
Yeah. I mean,
it doesn't get much worse than that.
That's how you knew things were going to be rough right off the rip.
So maybe the Bills are on watch for the season from hell team. There's always one team.
There is. And stuff is going down early over there. It seemed like last year was going to be the year because it was like, they're retooling this entire team. Like, this might be an off year for the Bills.
Josh Allen said we're what?
Okay. Moving on.
Wait. I don't like what I just said. Never mind.
Moving on. Chiefs wide receiver Xavier Worthy has been cleared to practice. He's been through concussion protocol for quite some time, but the wide receiver room in Kansas City might be getting an additional boost. Obviously, this has been a weird wide receiver group this offseason as far as Worthy's been banged up. Hollywood Brown is coming back. Rashee Rice is in jail. I don't know what's going on with all that situation, but it sounds like Xavier Worthy's back.
Xavier Worthy's in an interesting spot because I feel like last year, he scores that touchdown week 1. Everyone freaks out as their new Tyreek Hill, and then he kind of tails off and steadies out, plateaus the rest of the season. But now that he's in a role where he's probably weapon number 3 or 4 in the offense, assuming Rashee Rice is playing, which, again, I have no idea what's going on with that situation. Assuming Hollywood Brown is healthy, however you want to rank Hollywood Brown, Kelsey, and Worthy, whatever. Either way, there's just a lot more options around him to where I think you can kind of unlock his speed and use it in a way that isn't just, hey, he's our best receiver, go get open because you're fast, you know?
Right. Okay, we'll close out with a couple more quarterback storylines across training camp. We just got this one from Adam Schefter, Ben. In Indianapolis, their first unofficial depth chart has come out. And listed as the QB1 is Daniel Jones or Anthony Richardson. It's not either, it's or.
It's going to be a long season for these Indianapolis fans. Long season incoming.
I mean, I can't quite believe that. How do you not just pick one right now? Or at least just don't put out the depth chart? I don't know.
Got a lot of time to decide.
And then,
that means both of them are going to play in the preseason, right? That's who I'm most excited to watch.
That's actually a good question because
I'm most excited to watch Anthony Richardson.
Me too, especially because I have some stock in him in our fantasy dynasty league. Would sure hope that he at least plays this season. And then last up, with the Kenny Pickett hamstring injury in Cleveland, Ben, it seems like Joey Flacco is now in the spot to be the QB1 in Cleveland this season. But Kevin Stefanski says this has opened up a ton more opportunities for both rookies, Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, to make an impression, and he does not yet have a decision on the starter.
But isn't Shedeur Sanders also hurt with a shoulder injury right now? I thought I read that this weekend too. I have the odds set at Joe Flacco minus 170, Kenny Pickett plus 200, Dylan Gabriel plus 450 to win the starting quarterback job. Shedeur Sanders, you can tell me he's the favorite. You can tell me he's 100 to 1. I have no idea what to believe.
That's kind of how I am with Gabriel too. I almost want to be like, there's just no way Gabriel ends up being the starter. But would anything shock me that came out of Cleveland?
No,
idea. What won't shock me is next season they will have a completely different person as their starting quarterback.
Yeah, Arch Manning, coached by Nick Saban, according to our Colin Cowherd.
Yes.
989-837-6125. Hey, the Bryce Underwood hype maybe is getting a little bit out of control. And the rest of the NFC North, I know we talked about that Packers team, but the Bears and Vikings also in the mix, according to Vegas, to win this division. It's the closest division in terms of odds. Wide open, according to Vegas. I think the Lions should be heavy favorites. I want to talk about everything that I just mentioned. And when we come back, it's the Ben Bosscher Show, live on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Get ready for a double dose of fun with Greater Midland races. August 1st, it's Run the River, a scenic 5K along the Tridge during River Days. Runners 21 and older get a complimentary drink ticket to use at the Rotary Tent. You're literally running for the pint. Then, on August 8th, race through Dow Diamond at the Loons Pennant Race. Cross home plate and score a free lawn ticket to that night's game. Sign up now at greatermidland.org/races. Greater Midland, making Midland a better community, one step and one race at a time.
Get ready, Michigan. Field of Frames Fest presented by Dow is taking over Dow Diamond September 26th through 28th. It's the ultimate celebration of gaming, esports, and community, bringing together fans, families, players, and industry pros for a 3-day festival like no other. Watch elite teams battle in high-stakes competition, the Valorant Collegiate Invitational and Rocket League Semi-Pro Showdown, each with $10,000 prize pools, a $5,000 Super Smash Bros. Open Tournament, and a 17U Fortnite Youth Tournament with $1,000 up for grabs. There's live music, entertainment, and activities for all ages, plus educational panels and hands-on workshops for those interested in tech, business, and gaming industries. Tickets start at just $25, and kids 10 and under get in free. Don't miss your chance to be part of a landmark event. Visit fieldofFramesFest.com to grab your tickets today. Field of Frames. Experience the element of gaming.
The Michigan Baseball Foundation is more than just baseball. It's a driver of economic growth and community. Operating one of the nation's top minor league stadiums, MBF supports job creation and regional development. Through creative partnerships and charitable giving, MBF has helped bring projects like Dow Diamond, the East End Development, Fairfield Inn and Suites, the Plaza, and the Dow Bay Area Family YMCA to life, generating over $23 million annually in economic impact. Every Great Lakes Loons ticket supports these efforts. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic?
Yeah.
We've got them on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt. Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mitt is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mitt and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, folks, let's get started. Parents, thanks for coming. As many of you know, I'm Coach Mather. Tonight I want to talk about the season, of which I only have one expectation, that everybody gets stronger. When I say get stronger, I'm not referring solely to physical strength. Sure, we'll be in the weight room, we'll be running stairs, but we're also going to focus on developing mental toughness and grit, because those are the characteristics that allow us to achieve greatness both on and off the court. So, how do we develop those things? By getting comfortable with a challenge, by cultivating the confidence necessary to overcome adversity in all forms. That's why I coach. That's my purpose. Every member of this team can lean on me, and I'll teach them how they can lean on themselves and each other.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, we went over the Packers and how we're kind of both out on them. But we can't be out on every single one of these NFC North teams, Kyle. I think both of us are going to pick the... I mean, you can if you want to. I personally believe that this Vikings team is still very good, despite having a question mark at quarterback. And I told you I was somewhat alarmed and surprised and shocked to see that the Lions were underdogs week 1. I am also very surprised to see Monday Night Football, week 1, the Vikings in Chicago. I was surprised to see that the Vikings were underdogs in this matchup too. It feels like the Bears have won the offseason. Everyone thinks very highly of them right now. Ben Johnson this, Caleb Williams that. This Vikings team last year had 15 wins with very good quarterback play. They can still have, decent quarterback play. They can have a downgrade at quarterback. They can have slightly above average quarterback play. And I think the rest of this roster is good enough for them to still be an 11-win team, a 12-win team. J.J. McCarthy just has to kind of run the offense, right? Be Brock Purdy from his rookie season. That's all he really has to do. He is the best weapon in football in Justin Jefferson. He's got a great tight end in T.J. Hawkinson. I'll call him good, not great. He's got Jordan Addison when he gets out of jail or whatever he's doing with that whole DUI situation. He's a really good group of weapons. They went all in on protecting him and upgrading the offensive line that last year, which was their Achilles heel. They had an elite defense with an elite defensive play caller in Brian Flores and made some additional upgrades to that side of the ball as well. This, to me, is a very good team in the NFC. I know we always talk about the Eagles and the Commanders and the Rams as the threats to the Lions. This Vikings team's not going anywhere. And they always do play the Lions tough. Justin Jefferson typically gives this Lions team issues. I guess, first of all, A, I'm shocked that they're underdogs versus the Bears, even though they're on the road. And B, I think this is pretty clearly to me, maybe not clearly, but to me, this is the best team in the NFC North, not named the Detroit Lions. And, we talk about how close this division is in terms of odds. It is the second most open division in terms of the Bears being the last place team, according to Vegas, having the shortest odds at plus 600. The only other last place team with shorter odds is the Seahawks in the NFC West. I think that division's totally open too. But this NFC North division, not too far behind. I think this Vikings team is the second best team in the NFC North. And I refuse to believe they're going to take this massive step back because of J.J. McCarthy. He'd have to be terrible in his first season as a starter for them to not be an above 500 team.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think especially from, like you mentioned, the odds perspective, the fact that the top 3 teams all have a plus 300 or less chance to win the division just goes to show like how tight it truly is. I made the mistake last year of saying, okay, yeah, the Vikings are going to be pretty bad this year. Like, not pretty bad, but they'll be last in this division. And I wasn't even that high on the Bears. But I made the mistake of saying the Vikings were going to fall off, and clearly that was the farthest thing from right. So I'm not going to do it again this year, man. This roster is still really good. They got better this offseason from a team that was already extremely good. We're not talking about playoff games here because the Vikings in the playoffs are a completely different team than they are in the regular season.
Right, a rookie quarterback, 100% aligned with
It doesn't matter who's playing quarterback. The Vikings can't win in the playoffs unless it's some miracle stuff
Fair
with
enough.
Case Keenum, you know. But in the regular season, I still think this team is extremely good. And I think that if I wasn't a huge Lions fan, that plus 290 number for the Vikings to win the division, it looks pretty good, dude. They are the Lions' biggest threat. And I'm super excited for that Week 1 game because we talked about the surprise of Green Bay being favored over Detroit. I can't wait to watch that other game too, dude. I want to see how Ben Johnson and the Bears look. I want to see how J.J. McCarthy looks with the Vikings. Like, extremely intriguing storylines coming from those other 2 teams in the NFC North. And I'm right aligned with you that I think the Vikings are absolutely the biggest threat to the Lions in the division.
So, okay, we're both in on the Lions. We're both in on the Vikings. Exhilarating radio, by the way, for us to just agree on both of this stuff.
You're so right.
I think this Packers team is fine. They have a lot of B to B plus players across the board. They don't have a ton of weaknesses. They just don't, to me, have a lot of blue chip players like the Lions do. Even like this Vikings team does with Jefferson and, you know, some of those guys on the interior offensive line like Fries. The Vikings have dudes. I don't think the Packers necessarily do. The Bears are the biggest wild card to me in this division. You could tell me that they really click, and I think best case scenario, they could have like 10 wins. There's also a world where they completely fall flat on their face. Caleb Williams isn't the answer. And this team, once again, is a 6-7, I did not do that on purpose, win team here in 2025.
What do you mean by that?
So, I don't know if you've seen some of these Caleb Williams stories or videos that are floating around. Typically, I don't buy into, hey, look at this video from training camp, because these are guys, you know, testing their boundaries, trying to figure out what they can and can't do, especially these young guys. Anytime I see on my Twitter timeline, this was their completion percentage today in training camp, I laugh a little bit. But some of these Caleb Williams videos that are emerging from camp, he looks like a JV football player getting called up to a varsity team.
JV.
It looks ugly, to say the least. He can't evade pressure. He can't throw anything accurately. And again, I'm only seeing the Twitter clips pop up. I think it'd be totally different if I was just there watching every single rep. But, man, it doesn't look great.
No.
I'll say that. The PR press on the PR report on Caleb Williams is not very good right now.
I mean, you know it doesn't look good when Colin Cowherd led back-to-back days with, wow, Caleb Williams looks terrible. You know, like that's some pretty classic stuff right there from Colin. So you say that the Bears could win 10 games.
A lot would have to go right.
I don't say it. Where do the 10 wins come from? I just can't see that world happening. You're not sweeping the Packers. You're probably actually not beating the Packers once.
Typically don't.
You're not sweeping the Lions. Sure, you might split with them, and you're not sweeping the Vikings. So you would have to really just dominate your non-conference schedule. I just don't see a world where this Bears team goes 5-1 in the division, you know? They made all these big offseason acquisitions for sure, but I can't get behind the Bears hype. With how good this division is, it means that one team has to be bad. We've seen worlds where just a couple years ago in the AFC North, like every team was above 500. That can happen, but every team can't be double-digit wins. You know, if you're 8-9, 9-8 is the worst team, that's best-case scenario. And to me, best-case scenario for the Bears is it's hard for me to vision that world happening. So I'm right with you. I think a 7-win season for the Bears is completely in play and honestly probably likely.
They get the benefit of the fourth-place schedule. New Orleans on the docket, the Giants on the docket. San Francisco somehow with a fourth-place schedule ends up in the mix too. So there's a couple gimmies there. Vegas,
I just think
Dallas.
You would really have to dominate the non-conference schedule, and the divisions that the Lions play are not easy. So it's a tough task for them to get to double-digit wins, I would say.
989-837-6125. Our preseason power rankings for the division. Kyle and I are aligned on this. Sometimes it makes it not as fun, but I think this is pretty genuine. Lions, Vikings, Packers, Bears in the NFC North. Want to hear from you guys too. 989-837-6125. Want to hear from you guys on this as well. The stock exchange. We're going to keep doing it when we come back. What are you buying? What are you selling here after a weekend? Not really full of sports, but just after the weekend in general. We'll get to some Mitt messages and some more stock exchange when we come back. Hey, there's not too many weekends of summer left, and one thing that you might not be thinking about, but is a very fun thing to do, so I hear, is explore the Great Lakes shipwrecks and dive into adventure with Dive and Glide. Sign up for open water dive courses at diveandglideinc.com. Learn the skills and practice and get certified. Whether you're a beginner or brushing up on your skills, they've got the classes to get you underwater with confidence. If you're already a pro, shop the best state-of-the-art gear online. I'm talking fins, regulators, masks, gauges, and more. Visit diveandglideinc.com and gear up for your next underwater adventure. That's diveandglideinc.com, Michigan's home for all things scuba. This is Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
It's time to remember that. With Kyle Sandel.
Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau Agent, located downtown Midland. Tigers lose the series with the Phillies over the weekend, and man, this was some high-leverage baseball. Friday night, obviously a really tight game, but the Tigers end up losing it, blowing it due to the bullpen. Offense explodes Saturday after Tarek Skubal goes 6 scoreless and then gets lit up a little bit late in his start, but the offense was there to back him up, and that was really positive to see. And then obviously last night, Christopher Sanchez just dealing for the Phillies, and you almost knew when Yohan Duran was coming into the game that Tigers were unlikely to take this one. But this is just an unfortunate series loss for Detroit because we don't have anything to look ahead to anymore as far as, well, at least they can still do this at the trade deadline. Like, this is their roster now for the rest of the season. And it was a good spot to have Philly on the schedule because this is their first true taste at a playoff-style series with the current roster that they're going to have for the rest of 2025. Not to say that they totally failed or anything because I thought they showed some positives. I thought the new guys that they acquired have been pretty good so far. Obviously a super small sample. But man, the bullpen blowing the game on Friday and then the bats unable to do anything on Sunday. It doesn't give you a ton of positive thoughts going forward once you put the Tigers against these other playoff-style teams for the rest of the season. Remember that. Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau Agent, located downtown Midland.
At Scott Family Dental, they don't just care for your teeth, they care for you. Dr. Brandon Scott, a Michigan State graduate and Midland native, specializes in preventative, cosmetic, and restorative care. But what truly sets him apart is his commitment to building personal connections with every patient.
I value my patients as unique individuals and strive to make the best care decisions for you. I will always be honest and open regarding your care. That is my promise to you and anyone I treat.
Scott Family Dental. Let's bring out your best smile together.
Midland, are you ready? The Gus Macker 3-on-3 basketball tournament is back, and it all kicks off Friday at 6 p.m. with the Heroes Tournament. Come cheer on local legends, law enforcement, firefighters, EMS, and veterans as they battle it out for bragging rights on the blacktop. Then, the real madness begins August 9th and 10th with the official Gus Macker Tournament. Teams, thrills, and buckets all weekend long. Bring the family, grab some food, and feel the energy downtown Midland. Details at gusmacker.com. Don't miss it.
There are many ways to say Miller Lite has more taste and only one more calorie than Michelob Ultra. You could say it with your show choir buddies at your high school reunion.
Miller Lite is more taste and only one more calorie than Michelob Ultra.
However you say it, it's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2021 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Beer per 12 full ounces. Miller Lite, 96 calories, 3.2 carbs. Michelob Ultra, 95 calories, 2.6 carbs. Taste test performed by Institute for Perception, February 2018.
When the summer heat is on, keep your cool with Answer Heating and Cooling. Our expert team specializes in fast, reliable air conditioning repairs, installations, and maintenance. Stay comfortable all season long with top-notch cooling solutions and simply outstanding service. Plus, with financing options and special rebates, cooling your home has never been more affordable. Answer Heating and Cooling, where comfort is our priority. Try our new schedule online option or call us today.
Since 2007, the Michigan Baseball Foundation has invested over $1.8 million into our communities, supporting over 350 projects across 14 Michigan counties. From restoring Alma Little League fields to creating nature-based classrooms at the Chippewa Nature Center and enhancing accessibility at the middle of the Mitt Miracle Field, MBF is making a real difference. Every ticket to a Great Lakes Loons game helps fund these initiatives. Join us in building a stronger, more vibrant community. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Loons.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt. We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Loons. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt. Mid-Michigan sports leader.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Welcome back in. It's the Ben Bosscher Show. It's a Monday here on 100.9 The Mitt. You know what that means? It's time for the stock market.
You know what? I'm not leaving.
I'm not leaving.
The stock market.
The show goes on.
All right, Kyle, I'll kick us off this time around. Round number 2 doing this today. This one's crazy to me. I'm going to buy Jerry Jones stock. Usually I disagree with everything that this guy does, but immediately upon Micah Parsons asking for a trade, just comes out and is like, yeah, this guy's not getting traded. He's just using this as a negotiating tactic. I'm 100% aligned with Jerry Jones on this one. Do I think he's a good owner? No. Do I think he's a bad guy? Yes. But he's completely right about this. He should not trade Micah Parsons. He's inevitably going to end up paying him. Micah Parsons is making this a little bit more difficult than need be, but so is Jerry Jones, to be fair. But the fact that he came out and was like, I'm not trading him, this is just a negotiating tactic, 100% aligned with him. Micah Parsons is not getting moved here at the deadline. Or there's no deadline. I'm still in deadline mode from Major League Baseball last Thursday, but he's just not getting moved. I refuse to believe it.
I didn't know you could buy that stock. I didn't know that was up for
Jerry Jones
purchase. Yeah, I mean,
well, he's just gonna have people continuously buy it and rig it. It's like some insider trading stuff, so it's a good stock to be.
All I heard was 100% aligned with Jerry Jones, and I just tuned out after that part. It's just
fair enough.
Don't think that phrase has ever been said.
Nope.
Okay, I'm gonna buy some stock as well. You know who I'm going to buy? Troy Melton stock.
Oh.
Because, look, they moved this guy to the bullpen. We were all super stoked for Troy Melton on national TV, Sunday Night Baseball. It didn't happen. So I think that at some point Troy Melton returns to this starting rotation, right? At some point, Chris Paddock or Charlie Morton, one will either not be good or will get hurt. Charlie Morton is 41 years old, and this pitching rotation has just gotten injured all year. I think Melton returns to the starting rotation, and what we saw from him in that start before the trade deadline got a lot of fans excited, including myself. So I'm going to buy some Troy Melton stock before he's been moved back to the rotation because he's in the bullpen right now.
Chris Paddock hasn't pitched 109 innings in a season in multiple years, and he's already, after yesterday's start, I think after last week's start at 115.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm not hoping or predicting an injury for anybody.
It's just look at what's happened this year. You know, they've lost 2 starters for the year. And last year they lost everyone other than Tarek Skubal. So to say that they're just going to be healthy the rest of the year, I think would be, just irresponsible.
Shout out Scott Harris, though, for bringing in enough arms to not have to worry about. The odds are they're not going to have to do pitching by chaos at all.
Are we buying Scott Harris stuff?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. You can. I will not be.
No, I won't be either.
This is it's a non-sports one for you, Kyle.
Okay. You sounded just so excited to say this one. Oh, God. I have a bad one coming up, too, so we can both go in on it.
Can't even do it. I am selling my Sabrina Carpenter stock.
Whoa.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't like the music. I don't like the. I don't really like anything with it, man. I just don't understand what the appeal. I mean, I understand what the appeal is.
Whoa.
It's just not really for me. I'm not a fan of any of these videos that pop up at the concert. Number one trending thing this morning.
Number one pop star in the world, man.
Yeah, I'm all set. I'm all set on
Crazy.
Sabrina Carpenter.
Okay. I can't get behind this one.
Just kind of an annoying voice.
I like Sabrina Carpenter's music. I really do. And I'm not like a huge like pop fan, but I actually like Sabrina Carpenter's music. I think she has a lot of really good songs. I thought her album that she put out at the beginning of last year was like a really good pop album. But that's just me, you know? So what about like Tate McRae? Are you out on Tate McRae too?
I don't know one Tate McRae song.
Okay. So I would assume that that's a yes then.
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully Logan is listening to today's episode, so you can hear that one. Okay, I got one for you. This is a bad one, okay? This one's going to make some people mad, and I just want to preface this. Just hear me out fully.
Don't worry. Whatever you're about to say, I'm about to make people even more mad with my next sell.
Okay. This is actually a buy. I am buying stock. I am buying stock on the boyfriends that didn't post their girlfriends on National Girlfriend Day this weekend.
This is so good. This is so good.
Look, the ones that you're in the healthiest relationship when you don't have to post your girlfriend on National Girlfriend Day, right?
You're 100%
That's like a high
right.
school thing that you do, you know. And it's like, oh, your girlfriend, like, make sure you like post me, you know, like you're trying to put on a front for the people on social media, like, look how happy we are. When like truly, if you are that happy, why do you got to let other people know? You know, why do you? And this is coming from a non-boyfriend, you know, so like. This is I'm not just it goes the other for the flip way too, you know, on National Boyfriend Day. The girlfriends don't need to post a boyfriend. I think those are the happiest couples when they don't post each other on those specific days.
I have nothing to add because you nailed it. Right on the head of the nail. You nailed it. You don't have to post nonstop your significant other to let everyone know that you're happy with it.
I'm not saying that you don't have to post them in general. I'm saying on the specific days like this. It's like this made-up stupid day, you know?
should just be posting them
like on Valentine's Day
on
too.
random days.
Yeah, like if I'm doing exactly.
It's like the classic, you don't get your girl flowers on Valentine's Day. You just get them flowers random days of the year. That's how you really let them know.
Yes. So apologies if I upset anyone there.
It's okay. I'm going to jump headfirst into a whole different audience.
No.
I'm selling my Bryce Underwood stock.
Whoa!
I'm not completely out on this guy, but people are writing in Michigan. It's his playoff team. Expectations very high. Look at the roster that's around him. He is 18 years old, ladies and gentlemen. I think we have to pump the brakes a little bit on the expectations for this guy. He's the number one prospect out of high school since Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence, as a true freshman, was he a true freshman or was he a freshman?
He was a true freshman.
Won the national championship. That is what you're comparing Bryce Underwood to. So if we really want to jump in and call him best prospect since Trevor Lawrence, he's the number, we can do that, but then the expectation should be to win a national championship. And I think in today's college football world, that is an insane expectation for the Michigan Wolverines. So I just would like to pump the brakes a little bit on this guy. I'm still in on him being a quarterback 2 years from now, 3 years from now that can help Michigan win a national championship. But what matters right now in college football, more than arguably anything, is experience. It's the same way I'm not all that in on Arch Manning winning the Heisman or being the number one overall pick this year, because you've got guys like Garrett Nussmeier for LSU and Cade Klubnik for Clemson who just have more experience and I think are going to be better, well-rounded players in college football this season. Bryce Underwood has all the physical tools you'd want in a college quarterback. Looks like Anthony Richardson on steroids, which is already insane because Anthony Richardson looks like he's on steroids. At least he did when he was at college or when he was at Florida. But I don't know how much that stuff really translates to throwing the football. But I'm reading all this stuff. It's like, oh, I saw Cam Newton. I saw Bryce Young, who's also a number one overall recruit. I saw Trevor Lawrence. No one slings the rock like Bryce Underwood. You still got to be able to play.
Yeah.
It's not all about what you can physically do. You got to think the game sometimes too. Remember, everyone kept falling in love with all these pro days when it came to the NFL draft. I know we're kind of comparing apples and oranges there, but it feels like the same thing. How far he can throw a ball in camp does not actually translate to how good he's going to be once he steps foot on the field in a Big Ten game. I'm not saying this guy's going to stink. I'm just saying there's going to be some learning curves here for Bryce Underwood, and I'd like to pump the expectations a little bit. So I'll sell right now.
Okay.
Not to say that I'm out on Bryce Underwood. Like maybe I buy here at some point during the season. But right now I think is a good time to just sell a little bit of stock. Not all of it, but a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you know how I feel about Bryce Underwood in this situation. The experience matters. You're right, dude.
Like just like at Eric Garcia.
Yes. That is actually precisely just like them. Yeah.
I
had
actually
one
don't
more.
know your stance on Bryce Underwood. If you can give that for like 10 seconds.
I'm out on him. I mean, I have a list of these freshman quarterbacks that have done stuff in the last so many years in college football. It's a short list, man. It's a really short list. That's all I got to say.
Okay. 989-837-6125. We led things off with the Tigers today. I want to circle back to that because it feels like the Tigers here in August don't really have too much to prove because of their schedule. There's only one other team that they're playing the rest of the way that's above 500. By the way, Tigers are below 500 against teams above 500, which is somewhat alarming. But this weekend series against Philadelphia, let's recap that and why they failed the test. Next on the Ben Bosscher Show, 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm here with Matt Smith with Modern Realty. All right, Matt, forecast 2025 for us.
Well, in 2025, I believe you're going to see a much more balanced market. We've been in a seller's market for a number of years. We're still not busting at the seams with inventory, but we are seeing the market start to balance out a little bit. That means it's still a really good time to get great value out of your home. But for the buyers out there, it also means that your path to home ownership should be a little bit easier.
Suit up, Sea Captain. At Dive and Glide in Midland, we've got all the gear you need to make a splash. Flippers that fit like a glove, masks that show you the underwater magic, and tanks ready to fuel your next adventure. Whether you're snorkeling the local lakes or dreaming of ocean depths, Dive and Glide has your back and your fins. Find us on Cambridge Street or swim over to diveandglideinc.com. Dive and Glide, making waves one splash at a time so you can dive deeper than ever before.
Follow the Yellow Brick Road to Dow Diamond on Saturday, August 9th for Wonderful Wizard of Oz Night. There's no place like home as the Great Lakes Loons host the Lansing Lugnuts. After the game, defy gravity with a fireworks loontacular presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. Grab your tickets now at loons.com and get ready for a night that's truly over the rainbow. This isn't just baseball. This is the Great Lakes Loons. Everyone's hometown team. Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters? Yeah. 100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of. It's hot! Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Let's pick out a good wine. Let's discover a new taste from a new place. Let's meet the people who handpick the grapes in places dedicated to the craft, in a land that only knows one way to grow things, rich and full. Welcome to Michigan, where the 4 seasons and 4 Great Lakes smile on the winemaker, where the quality of the wine is exceeded only by the warmth of the greeting waiting for us. And with more than 90 wineries, covering more than 13,000 acres, the harvest has never been better. So let's wander through lush vineyards, discover hidden treasures in vast cellars, and renew ourselves in comfortable tasting rooms. Let's all raise a glass. Let's gather our closest friends and become even closer. Because taking time to toast the beauty and bounty of life is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
Welcome into the Ben Bosscher Show, hour number 3, the 11 o'clock hour. Getting started right now. If you missed the first 2 hours, you can go back and watch it right now on YouTube, or you can wait till about 12:15 p.m., and we'll have it uploaded on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast. It'll be there. Just search The Ben Bosscher Show wherever you get it. If you're watching on YouTube, don't be afraid to hit the subscribe and the like button. Helps push that content out for other people in the great state of Michigan. We'd appreciate it.
And say hi to us in the chat.
That's right. Got the chat going right now. All right, so this Tigers team, I think they got put to the test this weekend, and they failed in somewhat of an embarrassing fashion. Maybe embarrassing isn't the right word, but ironic. The irony behind the way that they lost is really hit home this weekend to the point where it was almost like a laughable, like you deserved to lose this in this fashion. And I think it was almost a preview of what is bound to happen here in the postseason in October, because they're going to be a postseason team. They play in the worst division in Major League Baseball. They comfortably have a playoff spot. Not locked up, but it'd be pretty shocking for them to not make the playoffs. And the way that they lost is, well, it's exactly how you'd expect to lose. You had the worst bullpen in Major League Baseball. Maybe not the worst bullpen, but amongst playoff teams, yeah, the worst bullpen for teams chasing a World Series at the trade deadline, and you elect to not really go get anyone that's a needle mover. You pick up Kyle Finnegan. Kyle Finnegan gets the save on Saturday, but one of the guys that got dealt at the deadline, who's a little bit better than Kyle Finnegan, was Yuan Duran. And Yuan Duran ends up on Philadelphia from the Twins. Maybe you couldn't have got Duran just because of the in-division aspect of the trade, but either way, Philly goes all in, the principle of it. They go all in. They're willing to give up these top prospects to get a guy like Duran. And it instantly was worth it because not once, but twice this weekend against the Tigers, they had to face off against Duran once again. And both times he was able to pick up the save and shut down this Tigers team. Yesterday, it stung even more because he kills the heart of the lineup. Kerry Carpenter, Spencer Torkelson, Riley Green, all go down. Tigers elect to not go that route. They don't go all in. They go after guys like Kyle Finnegan. They go after guys like Rafael Montero, who's yet to play for the Tigers. But I promise you this is going to be a very frustrating player with a 14% walk percentage. Look, Chris Fetter can fix some of these guys up. We've seen it with Chris Paddock. We've seen it with Charlie Morton, both of which had excellent debuts for the Detroit Tigers upon arrival. The issue is, I don't think Chris Fetter can just turn absolute nothing burgers into a 5-course meal. And that's mostly what Scott Harris picked up here at the deadline, right? Rafael Montero, you've got Sewald, who's still on IL, so we're not going to see him until September at the earliest. They elect to go quantity over quality, whereas a team like Philly just said, give us the best, or the second best closer that's available in Duran. And it worked out for them, right? The Tigers played 3 games against Philly. They failed the test. Game 1, Tigers have a 3-run lead going all the way into the 7th. They're up 3-0. Flaherty leads off, gives up a single. They take him out of the game. Holton and Vest combine to give up a handful more runs, and all of a sudden, the game is tied. Prez jumps back in, home run. He has an awesome weekend. But the Tigers bullpen, once again, blows it. Hannafy comes in, blows it, right? Not once, but twice on Friday, this bullpen was not good enough compared to what Philadelphia was putting out there. And time again, we saw this back when the Tigers were going on the run in 12 and 13. The bullpen simply was not good enough. And I know Scott Harris wasn't around, but it's going to be pretty telling that he couldn't recognize the situation, at least that the Tigers were in a decade ago, and asked himself, hey, I know I wasn't here, but how did this team lose in the postseason once they got there? Look at this lineup. This lineup shouldn't lose against anybody. This rotation's undefeated. They lost because of the bullpen being a disaster. And that's exactly what the Tigers' bullpen has been this year. You've lost Canely, lost cause at this point. Sorry. Will Vest gave up runs on 2 different occasions this weekend, Friday and Sunday. Starting to, I don't want to say lose faith in Will Vest, but whatever we saw this weekend, that cannot happen. Otherwise, the Tigers are going to lose games because of the bullpen. Kyle Finnegan maybe turns into your 1A closer. Not necessarily a great thing, right? When you have all these other teams across Major League Baseball that upgraded their spot that are going into the postseason this year. For them to lose in that way, I thought was concerning. And I don't want to sit here for the rest of the season and say, this is what Scott Harris should have done. This is what Scott Harris should have done. Should have been more aggressive at the deadline. Because it feels like we can do that every day for the rest of the season if we really want to. But the weekend after the trade deadline, the first 3 games, the irony of the way that they lost, with Duran coming out of the bullpen on national TV on Sunday night with the electric spider entrance and the crowd going nuts and everyone pulling their phones out to see their new prized possession. And everyone's got their flashlight on. The stadium's rocking. Kyle, I was jealous a little bit of Philly and Dave Dombrowski, ironically, being aggressive here at the deadline and bringing in a new toy that they got to show off on national television. I wish that would have been the Tigers. I really do.
Hey, just wait till we get that Kyle Finnegan closer walkout song, though, tonight, you know?
Maybe.
No, but in all, reality, I think it's become less about not what they did do at the deadline and just what they didn't do, right? Because Kyle Finnegan, I think, is like a super good add to this team, and I think he's a great he being in the mix now definitely is needed. But he's the only bullpen guy that really is probably going to make an impact on this team, right? That they acquired.
I don't want to give up. Oh, that they acquired. Yes.
Yes, that they went out and got.
Yes.
Whereas these other teams,
Seawald, huge question mark.
Huge question mark. Montero, I mean, there's just no way you'll ever trust him in a playoff series, ever. Like, unless he just becomes nuts out of nowhere, which just, why would we rely on that to happen?
He has the highest walk rate of any reliever in baseball.
The entire league, yes. And then the Cody Hewer guy they go get is a AAA guy, which he also made his debut for the Mud Hens yesterday. Went an inning scoreless. Good for him. But it's just the fact that they only got one bullpen guy. Like, when all these other teams went out and got multiple guys, sure, they did get more than one guy, but Finnegan is the only dude that really you can trust and that you at least going into a playoff series. Like, that's the weirdest part about the weekend is the guys that Scott Harris got did good, and they still lost in a series that was like a true test of, can this team hold up in a playoff series? Because that was a playoff series. That was the biggest thing they've had close to it all season. The Blue Jays series, honestly, I'm willing to toss that out the window. Same with Seattle, because it was pre-deadline.
Mm-hmm.
2 teams that are different teams now post-deadline, and guess what? They're both better than Detroit is now currently post-deadline.
Well, they were both better before deadline, and then both of those teams upgraded themselves at the deadline, and the Tigers made marginal upgrades, if anything.
Exactly. So that's the weird part about all this is it's not about what Scott Harris did, because honestly, what he did do, yeah, they've done a fine job in their debuts. Obviously, it's a super small sample, so you want to wait. But it's about what he didn't do. It wasn't enough, clearly, and it's going to be quite some time before we're able to judge that once again, because like you said, the schedule's pretty light going forward for Detroit, which I don't think we can't just be like, oh, they're not playing anybody, so these games don't matter. Who cares if they win?
Well, tonight they truly might not be playing anybody. We have no idea what's happening with this Minnesota
team. As far
team.
as numbers-wise, yes, they actually might not be playing anyone. But as far as, they're playing these non-playoff teams, who cares if they win? They're supposed to be winning. Sure, I understand that argument, but, baseball is about going into the playoffs and ending the season on a hot note. We saw that with the Tigers last year. They ended hot, and it worked for them in the playoffs. They almost got to the championship series on a team that never should have made the playoffs in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to use these games to build that up and get those bullpen guys and starters in a groove so that when they do face Houston, like you talk about, and when they face Cleveland again at some point, they can actually continue to go into the playoffs on a run like they did last year. But it sucks that they're not going to be able to test that out for a while against playoff teams.
Yeah, the only other team that they play above 500 the rest of the month is Houston. That's the 18th, 19th, and 20th of August. 2 of those games will be nationally televised. So everyone's going to get another look at this bullpen from a national standpoint. And hopefully the conversation after that series isn't the same as the conversation after this series. That is, man, bullpen is still bad. Wish the Tigers would have been a little bit more aggressive here. Look, again, I want to reiterate this. I'm not going to sit here every day the rest of the season and say, look, Scott Harris should have done this. But for Scott Harris to say after the deadline, that Friday or that Thursday, whatever day the Petzold piece came out and said, there were some moves on the table for us to make that I thought would have haunted the Tigers for years to come. If he's talking about giving up a guy like Max Anderson, who's a double-A second baseman, that kind of stuff is nonsensical. What's going to haunt the Tigers for years to come is when you were in the driver's seat, had a very big lead over everyone in the American League, and you fell apart and elected to not improve yourself at the trade deadline. Because let's face it, Kyle, if the Tigers would have been ultra aggressive, and let's say they were to get a guy like Duran, even though it's an in-division trade, and they got even more aggressive and went after a Bednar, and all of a sudden you've got those two and Vest, and maybe it did cost you an arm and a leg, but I think we can say with confidence it wouldn't have cost any of your top 3 prospects, top 4 prospects. Say they would have been ultra aggressive here, still with protecting some of your top guys, I think we're talking about this team in a totally different manner right now. Like a team that we actually expect to win the World Series. I don't expect them to do that anymore. I expect them to be in the playoffs. I know they have a chance to win the World Series, but time and time again, you have to have a good bullpen, and you have to hit home runs, which the Tigers, they hit home runs, not enough of them. Time and time again, though, it's the bullpen that comes through for teams in the postseason. The Tigers do not have a good enough bullpen right now for me to say, I think they can win a World Series. I don't expect it, though. I don't.
Well, I think it's you can stretch it out a little bit further. It's like not only is it going to haunt them not going all in on this season where they were the best team in the American League at the deadline, and they still are tied for it right now, but it's not going all in the Tarek Skubal era.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
I mean, once again, we said this last week, and it's funny that it still lives on, but like we cannot guarantee that they'll be good again next year. Like with how just crazy things have changed in the American League, you're going to lose Gleyber Torres in free agency. Who knows what other teams go out and do? Like it extends more than just this season. It's in the Tarek Skubal era because none of us are confident that the Tigers are going to bring him back long term.
Nope.
That is what's going to haunt you, is losing Tarek Skubal and not having a ring to at least say, well, hey, we lost him, but at least we won with him.
But not only not having a ring, not even being able to look in the mirror and say, at least we tried.
Right. Yeah.
You didn't.
That's totally it.
That's the part that's going to haunt the Tigers for years to come. Not the fact that you didn't give up a Max Anderson. And again, I don't know if that's the exact prospect they're talking about.
But a fringe top 10 guy. He's number 9 in the org. Like every other team that was aggressive at the deadline gave up a top 10 prospect.
Yeah. Tigers gave up 14, 15.
Tough.
Doesn't cut it. 989-837-6125. More on some Bryce Underwood stuff when we come back. It is the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt. But before you go, we talk about, experience matters in college football with Bryce Underwood. Well, experience matters at Aird Insurance Group. They understand that not everyone's insurance needs are the same. They want to work personally with you to create something best suited for your needs. Life, home, auto, fiscal insurance, it's all available with Farm Bureau Aird. The team's got over 100 years of combined experience. They know exactly how to put you in the best position possible. The experience matters. That's why Aird Insurance Group is the way to go. It's the Ben Bosscher Show. That's the way to go on your Monday mornings in the Great Lakes Bay region on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Balloons last week out in Fort Wayne, Indiana, won 4 of 6 with great pitching from their starters. They had a starter scoreless inning streak of 26 2/3 from Tuesday through Saturday. And speaking of Saturday, an offensive explosion. They scored 18 runs and 19 hits. Joe Vitrano did his part, a triple that drove in 2 runs, all part of the fun on Saturday night. 0-1. Vitrano swings, hard hit, laced into right center field, and that's trouble. That's going to roll to the wall. Decker hits third. He scores. Hainline on his horse hitting third. Vitrano wants a triple. Cut off by Evans. No throw. A stand-up, 2-ribby, 3-bagger for Joe Vitrano. Loons add to their lead. It's 6-2 here in the 5th. Loons are back at Dow Diamond. They start a series Tuesday. First pitch at 7:05.
Near, on the wall, whose house is the nicest on the block of them all?
Not yours.
What do you mean?
Your siding is faded, your gutters are falling off, and you have shingles missing. I suggest you call Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
I'm going to call Bresky Siding and Building Repair right now. Near, on the wall, now whose house is the nicest of them all?
Yours is, kind sir, yours is.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today.
Hey, sports fans, heading up north? Whether you're gearing up for the big game, hosting friends, or winding down after a long day, Hops and Schnapps is your ultimate beverage destination. With one of the largest selections of beer, wine, and spirits in Michigan featuring over 1,000 options from around the globe, we're your beverage experts. Plus, our friendly team is here to help you find the perfect pick. Visit us in Standish, Grayling, and Gaylord today. Hops and Schnapps, raise your glass, raise your spirits.
You're invited to Louie Loon's birthday party presented by My Michigan Health. Sunday, August 10th at Dow Diamond. Join all of Lou's friends at the ballpark as we celebrate the best waterfowl mascot in all of sports. To add to the party festivities, the Loons will wear special Disney-themed Mickey Mouse jerseys that fans can bid on during a live online auction. For tickets, head to loons.com. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
I want to jump back into the Bryce Underwood thing. I sold my stock on him for our stock exchange, but it's not to say like, oh, I'm out on Bryce Underwood. I think this guy's going to suck this year. I do think this Michigan team is setting him up to succeed just based on the weapons, the offensive line, the defense, but I think we got to taper back the expectations a little bit for an 18-year-old who's never played a game of college football. The thing that Bryce Underwood has going for him is he's typically going to be the most athletic guy on the field at all times, which is a blessing and a curse in some ways. It's a blessing because, well, if you're the most athletic guy in the field, you can get away with a lot of stuff that most quarterbacks cannot, right? Evade pressure, stiff arm a guy off you that's trying to tackle you. Sometimes you can be bigger and stronger than some of these defensive linemen that are trying to chase you down. So it's a blessing in that way. It's a curse because if you become over-reliant on it, then are you really developing? I don't want Bryce Underwood to become over-dependent on his athleticism here in year number 1. And I think it'd be worth him going through growing pains to set you up for the future if you're Michigan than him never leaving his comfort zone and just playing everything safe the entire time. I'm not selling all my Bryce Underwood stock. I'm just saying the expectation, like I saw an article today. Teams that are competing for a playoff spot. Michigan's listed as one. Okay. You can have those kind of expectations for Michigan this year, but that's also putting a boatload of pressure on Bryce Underwood. And if you guys are down for that, we're down for it. But if that's the way that we're going to do it, the expectation for Bryce Underwood needs to be you deliver in a way that's unlike anything Michigan has seen in quite some time. The expectation needs to be you're making $12 million, and it's not to just sit around and be an average quarterback. The $12 million thing does change the way I view about Bryce Underwood. Flips from LSU for this massive load of money that, Trump in this new NIL thing basically just outlawed the way that it got presented to Bryce Underwood. Hey, we'll give you this much money if you just flip from some random guy. They're trying to prevent that basically because of what happened with Bryce Underwood, if you read between the lines. So because of all the money he's making, because of the role that Michigan finds themselves in, because of the Block M and the brand, the expectation for Bryce Underwood is going to be polarizing. I think it needs to be brought back a little bit. I think Michigan fans are expecting to make the playoffs, and I just think that is so much to put on the load of an 18-year-old's shoulders that I wouldn't be surprised if Michigan fans are setting themselves up for a little bit of disappointment here. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Bryce Underwood balls out this season. I'd love to see Michigan in a playoff because, hell, that gives us something to talk about. But I have a hard time visualizing a freshman quarterback dominating the Big Ten in a way that leads them to a playoff spot in year number 1. The roster is good enough, but again, it's an 18-year-old quarterback. I'm hesitant to say that this is a playoff caliber quarterback.
Would you assume that Michigan has to win 10 games to go to the playoff. Is that fair to assume?
If they win 10, I think it's a lock. If they win 9
and 3, maybe.
But depends on who they
lost
lost
like they
to.
lose to Ohio State, Penn State, and Oklahoma. Or I'm just trying to think. Or, no, probably 3 conference games. I mean, probably Illinois.
Then they probably don't.
Yeah, or Michigan State or something.
They'd have to have a big win on the resume.
Right, exactly. I think so. And like Oklahoma they're supposed to be better this year, so that could be a good win. But as far as like you got to have a big conference win, I think. And the conference is going to be good this year. Like teams like Illinois are going to be a lot better than usual. Indiana's going to run it back again. The reason I ask this is because notable true freshman quarterbacks to win double-digit wins in recent college football history.
This is good.
Because it does happen, right? I mean, like this it's not like ultra rare that these freshman quarterbacks start. We saw it last year with Dylan Raiola. That Nebraska team will probably be a lot better this year. But in recent memory, the big one is Trevor Lawrence, right? 2018, true freshman, probably the best true freshman college football quarterback season we've ever seen. That team goes 15-0. They win the national championship.
Beat Saban in it.
Yeah, I mean, and Trevor Lawrence, one of the biggest college football quarterback prospects as well. Like, he's kind of an anomaly. Sam Howell in 2019, a true freshman, goes 7-6. Not even close. Bo Nix, 2019 for Auburn, true freshman. Isn't that hilarious, by the way?
That he was a true freshman in 2019.
9-4. Didn't quite get there for Auburn. Caleb Williams, I don't count. They have him on here because his team went 11-2. He did not start the entire season. They benched Spencer Rattler for him, and obviously Williams was like extremely good. And then you have to go back even further than Trevor Lawrence for the last one. Jake Fromm in 2017, behind an elite Georgia team that was 13-2. I would say that this Michigan team is not quite as elite as that Georgia 2017 team was.
No.
So it's
no
a
teams
little bit more pressure. And then the other like true one, as far as the quarterback just being elite, Jalen Hurts in 2016 with Alabama. That Bama team goes 14-1. Hurts was incredible. And then obviously this is years before the Tua situation. Then he leaves and goes to Oklahoma. So it's really Hurts and Lawrence, and both of those teams like didn't sneak to 10 wins. They were just on the best teams in the country. So yes, it can happen. Can it happen with this current Michigan roster that just lost several guys to the NFL in the first round? And Bryce Underwood probably isn't as notable as a prospect as a Trevor Lawrence was in his freshman year.
Well,
I'm not saying it's impossible. But it's a ton of pressure, like you said, to put on the 18-year-old on a Michigan team that is coming off of a relatively poor year last season to their expectations.
Or I think even like as far back as the Trevor Lawrence thing in 2019? 2018. I don't think experience mattered as much then as it does now, because you don't have all of these 25-year-old quarterbacks in college football back then.
Right.
Trevor Lawrence was 101 graded out prospect on 24/7. That's the highest since, or Bryce Underwood at 100 is the highest since Trevor Lawrence. And this is a completely different era, even though it was just, 7 years ago at this point. It's a completely different era in the way that the schemes are more complicated, the expectations are higher. There's less teams that are just rising above everyone at the top, and it feels like there is about 7, 8, 9 teams that maybe can win a national championship. The Big Ten's a lot deeper. This conference schedule's a lot tougher. I mean, it's easier to make the playoffs, but I think the Big Ten schedule now is just more difficult than it was in 2019. And I know Clemson's not in the Big Ten, but it's still somewhat comparable because Clemson comes in and is just dominant. Best team in the country.
Right.
I don't think anyone expects that from Michigan, right?
Same with Alabama with that year from Hurts. Like, they just had really good teams with these true freshman quarterbacks put in pretty good positions. Not saying that Michigan is in some disaster scenario for Bryce Underwood, but...
No, but they're the fourth... They're fourth in odds to win the Big Ten. It's not like they're the favorites.
Right. I would argue that their defense was set up, at least going into the season, better last year than it was this year. We did 3 first-round NFL guys on that team.
Yeah. If you would have had Bryce Underwood last year and he
I think they're pretty good, man.
I think we are talking about this as a historic true freshman season.
I agree. That last year, the quarterbacking for Michigan was the number one reason why they weren't good.
Yeah, every other aspect. And you saw it in the second half of the year. Despite the terrible quarterback play, they turned things around and had some big-time wins to close out the year, including the bowl game against Bama. I know some guys.
So maybe that's the devil's advocate behind why they will be good this year. It's like Bryce Underwood, he could even be average, and it's still going to be 10 times better than what they had last year. But I also just think their team is overall worse than it was last year. He's not coming into some team that is set up to automatically go to the playoff like those Clemson and Alabama teams were with their true freshmen.
No, I'm aligned with you there. 989-837-6125. When we come back, we'll hit the news. It's the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
At Sandy Ridge, our completely renovated clubhouse is ready for you. With a brand new full kitchen, a spacious deck, and plenty of room for any event, it's the perfect spot for weddings, parties, or any special gathering. And that's not all. Our whole 16 green has been redesigned and is better than ever. Plus, our greens are the truest around, on par with the top courses, but at a price that fits your budget. Come visit us today at Sandy Ridge and see why we're the perfect choice for your next event.
Now, wait a second, Sharon. So the Midland Area Community Foundation runs the Midland Area Santa House?
You bet we do.
And Midland Area River Days?
Absolutely.
Plus scholarships for students and grants for local nonprofits? That's like hitting the cycle and impacting our community.
Anyone can step up to the plate and help build community capital for as little as $5.
$5. That's the cost of a snack at the ballpark. How do I get in the game?
Just visit midlandfoundation.org and make a gift to our community investment fund. Every dollar makes a difference.
Join the team. Give today at midlandfoundation.org.
At the Great Lakes Loons, our commitment to community goes beyond the ballpark. Through the Volunteer program, Loon staff and even players roll up their sleeves to serve the Great Lakes Bay region. From packing food boxes to reading in classrooms and even cleaning up local camps and parks, it's hands-on work that helps build a stronger, more connected community. Volunteer isn't just what we do, it's who we are. Because being part of this region means showing up when it counts. The Great Lakes Loons, serving the Great Lakes Bay region since 2007.
Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt. I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think replay should be taken out of basketball entirely. I think 2 super conferences would fix college football. I think the best football, basketball, and baseball players of all time are currently playing. I think the day the Lions win the Super Bowl is going to be the greatest day of my life. I think Monty Williams sabotaged the Pistons on purpose, and you can't convince me otherwise. I think Jim Harbaugh is one of the best coaches of all time, but most definitely cheated, got caught, and ran away. And I think you should tune into the Ben Bosscher Show, fueled by Forward Energy, weekdays 9 to noon on 100.9 The Mitt if you agree with anything I just said.
High school sports don't just happen. There's a ton of work that goes into every single athletic event.
And we have our school's athletic director to thank for a lot of it. Thank you.
For scheduling officials, so I can always play the game I love.
For ordering quality athletic equipment, so I can stay safe on the field.
For mentoring my coaches, so they can be the best role models for me.
For coordinating transportation, so I can get focused for the big game.
For helping us develop character and learn lessons that will benefit us for the rest of our lives.
Thank you to our AD for always creating a positive experience for us. We'll never forget it.
From all of us at the NIAAA, thank you to every athletic administrator in Michigan for all you do to enrich the lives of your students. It does not go unnoticed. This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
(989-837-6125). Dwayne from Bay City says, I totally disagree on your guys' take that Michigan is worse overall than last year's 8-5 team. They'll finish 12-0 this year, and I'll say I told you so.
Whoa. 12-0. I thought that was happening
It's that time of the
year.
show where we just say crazy stuff.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Dwayne? How was your weekend? It's good to see you, check in. It's just we haven't heard from Dwayne yet today. I was just wondering about him.
A daily texter. He just had to wait for us to say Michigan wasn't going to be a national champion.
True.
Jumping right in.
That's a good point.
All right, let's hit the news.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
Okay. It's time for the news, Ben. Let's hop into some stuff that we didn't get to earlier, including this Ian Rappaport notification. Lions, they got a game this Friday. It's against the Atlanta Falcons. But we won't get to see either of Michael Penix Jr. or Kirk Cousins. Neither of them will be playing. I don't know who their third quarterback is, but that's who they will be playing against.
I would have liked to see Michael Penix in this just from an entertainment standpoint. But
Yeah.
I guess I don't blame them for not playing their starting quarterback in the preseason game. He got enough experience last year to where it's fine. But
and he's just old already. Like, he's not like this super young rookie or anything.
Yeah, from a selfish standpoint, I wish we could have got to see him. Because this is someone I'm fairly intrigued by going into the year. Their third quarterback is Easton Stick.
Ooh.
Chargers
for
legend.
Justin Herbert a couple years ago, yeah. Pretty bad. Like, notably bad.
Notably bad backup.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but hopefully, you think we'll get a little bit more Hendon Hooker over Kyle Allen in this game, hopefully? At least maybe they switch up who starts.
Yeah, I would like, for the Hendon Hooker sake, for his own sake, have him play with the second guys rather than the third string guys.
Well, and just have him play when the game starts off 0-0. You know, it's just like he came in, like, not trying to defend the guy or anything, but wasn't the greatest scenario for him to come into the game, too, last time.
No, and he's got third stringers protecting him and third stringers trying to get open.
Yeah.
Set up to fail.
Okay, move on. Some MLB news. Ben, I don't know if you saw this weekend, the Red Sox and Astros. We talked about their series earlier. Boston sweeps Houston. But in that game, or in that series, there was a little bit of a benches clearing situation
I
where
did see this.
A runner on second for Boston looked like he was checking out the grips of Hector Neris, one of the relievers for the Astros. So Neris intentionally balks on the mound to move the runner over to third so he can stop relaying the grip signs to his batter, and then they end up grounding out to short. Innings over, and then a lot of chatter in between the inning, and pretty funny, the Red Sox color commentator was like, oh, pretty hilarious, the Astros complaining about stealing signs.
I also if you're showing the ball behind you, which is what this pitcher was doing, he was showing the grip on his right hip, and there's a guy at second. Obviously, he's going to start looking and relaying that. He's doing nothing wrong. It's not like they're using cameras and using a bat to communicate. It's, hey, this guy's showing me his grip. Here's what he's going to throw. It's a curveball. Why would you not relay that to the batter?
Yeah.
I don't think Boston did anything wrong in this situation.
I don't think so either. That's why you see a lot, especially out of the stretch, these guys will, keep it in their glove and everything, or keep their glove down. But yeah, I thought it was definitely interesting. I don't know. Do you think that gives the pitcher relay to yeah, that's legal and everything, but I'm about to hit your batter next? You know, like some stuff like that?
No. Why? How about you just use your glove and hide the ball like every other pitcher does?
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah.
That's all I got.
Okay, moving on. More MLB news. Julio Rodriguez yesterday hit a home run, Ben. He becomes the first player in MLB history. Anytime you hear first player in MLB history, you know it's going to be impressive because it's a long, long time that league has been around. With 20 or more home runs and 20 or more stolen bases in each of his first 4 seasons in the league. The fact that this is his 4th year, by the way. I mean, I remember when he was a rookie, and that was my first year playing fantasy baseball. That felt like it was last year, man. Crazy stuff. It really does fly.
He's not even having that elite of a season, but the fact that he pops up in that and he's having a down year shows you how talented
Last year
of a player
he got 20 home runs on the dot last year, so he'll obviously get well over that this year. But yeah, pretty big news. Skipping it over to the track, Ben. Noah Lyles is back in the news. He got in a little bit of a post-race fight. He was shoved by Kenny Bednarek after he won the 200-meter win at Nationals. Noah Lyles just continued to find his way in the headlines with controversy with these other guys, man.
Wait, he got shoved?
He got shoved, yes.
Why?
I tried finding why.
Did he win?
He won, yes. I don't know. Weird stuff.
People just hate the guys that are on top.
Do you like Noah Lyles? I've always wondered this. I think you do, right?
Have you always wondered this?
Well, I feel like we've talked about it, but I can't remember. I guess that's what I meant to say.
I like that he's entertaining. I don't know if I necessarily like him or agree with some of the things that he says, but he makes his sport relevant, and it would be irrelevant without him, so he's an overall positive.
Okay, yeah. I honestly don't really know how I feel about him because, during the Olympic stuff, like, yeah, I'm obviously going to root for him. You know, he's like one of the fastest runners in the world, and he's American. Like, for sure, I'll root for him. But
do you think Noah
didn't love
Lyles
the
could
NBA
beat
stuff.
Usain Bolt in a race right now?
I don't know what Usain Bolt's up to.
Neither do I.
I would say yes, right? I mean, unless Usain Bolt is just still doing it like that, but
He's
I would
38.
have to. I mean, he's not like that old by any means. I would
No.
probably have to give it to Lyles, though, right?
I don't know. Maybe.
Still competing at
He's
a high
10
level.
years older.
But also, there's no way that Usain Bolt just like lost all of his speed. So
What about the Joey Chestnut thing that you brought up to me a couple weeks ago? What is it? Usain Bolt, 100-meter dash?
It was a 100-meter dash and a hot dog. Who does it faster? And I think it's just Chestnut. I think Usain Bolt would have to be able to eat a hot dog in less than like 5 to 10 seconds.
Well,
or in that range.
if he can do it, he can run it in 10 seconds. Let's say Chestnut can run
There's
it
no way
in
it takes
20.
him. I was gonna say there's no way it takes him more than 20 seconds.
And he can eat a hot dog in like 2 seconds. So let's say he's finishing at 22 seconds. That means Usain Bolt would have to like basically 12 seconds to eat a hot dog. I think he could do it.
It's kind of fast, dude. It's fast for someone. Okay, sorry.
It just depends how
I
fast
saw a
of
hot
an
dog
eater
eating
they are.
contest this weekend, by the way. So
Did-
that was kind of
did
cool
the
to see
best
some amateurs. Some amateurs do it because it was kind of funny. I didn't really watch it because it's just gross.
It's gross, yeah.
Yeah, but they weren't doing like the dipping it in water thing. I think like 12 hot dogs won.
In how much time?
10 minutes, 5 minutes.
That's
I can't remember.
weak numbers.
Right, you definitely could have beat that. Hey, you missed the taco eating thing this weekend at
I
River
know.
Days.
I would have
dude.
dominated.
Did you? You said you were going to do it on your own, did you?
Nope.
Oh.
I'm
All
full
right,
of it.
We're doing it tomorrow on the show.
That'd be tough for our radio listeners.
You're right, it would be. Okay, let's kick it over to some golf news, Ben. Cameron Young became the 1,000th individual winner on the PGA Tour yesterday at Wyndham. It's his first PGA Tour title after 7 career runner-up finishes. Man, that's got to feel good. Getting second place 7 times without a win. Sounds like the Buffalo Bills in the 1990s, right? Oh, good one, Kyle.
Did you watch any of this weekend?
No, I did not. Did you?
No.
Oh, then why'd you ask this?
I don't know.
I just thought you had like a tidbit from him or something.
No, I don't.
Oh, I also don't. But shout out to Cameron Young for getting his first PGA Tour title. Let's end things off, Ben, with what we've talked about a couple times on the show so far, but we'll dive into it one more further time. Micah Parsons has officially requested a trade. You have mentioned you don't think this is going to happen. I think I agree with you. But how long is this going to play out for? That's the real question. Like, is Micah Parsons willing to not play once, because they're not going to trade him in the middle of the season, right?
No. This is,
They're just not going to trade him.
I
You
would
don't
be
trade Micah
floored
Parsons.
if he got moved. I'd be shocked.
What's the coolest team he could get traded to that you would be like, oh, wow?
I just think the list of teams that even it's feasible for is like 3 teams. It's Denver, I guess LA, and Chicago. Like, it's not going to be
See, but I
Washington.
already
They're already dealing with their
Yeah.
own contract
No, exactly.
issues. It's got to be a quarterback on a young contract, even though Herbert's
Denver
not on
would be
one.
pretty crazy, though, honestly.
Denver would be awesome. That'd be the best defense in the league going into
I
the
just
season.
feel like, I don't know. I feel like when a guy like Micah Parsons becomes available, you're willing to shift some things around cap-wise to get it done.
I don't think he's available.
I mean,
Him
he has
requesting a
made
trade-
himself available.
No, because the team still controls where he's playing this season. Him asking for a trade does not mean he's available to be traded. If Jerry Jones doesn't want to trade him, which he doesn't, he's not going to trade him. He's
Right.
going to cough up the money at some point. This is all bad news for Aiden Hutchinson, because the longer this plays out, the more likely it is that he gets like this
Parsons
crazy
gets paid even more, yeah.
$45 million a year. And Hutchinson's just
Ooh.
sitting back smiling, waiting for that to happen.
This is
'cause he
the
knows
best
next
time,
year,
actually, for them to pay Hutchinson. Because
I
now it'll
don't
just
think
make,
there's anything that they can do to pay Hutchinson right now. I think they're just waiting.
Right.
His camp's just waiting.
But
for
it
the
will make Parsons
contract.
even more mad. Like, oh, now I really want to get traded. Which is obviously funny if the Cowboys are just losing out on the situation. So,
But if you're Hutchinson's camp, you're loving this. You're like, yes.
right, yeah, this because it's not happening anytime soon. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Is that a good thing? I don't really know.
I think Hutch is waiting for the Micah contract. Micah's in more of a rush. He's an expiring.
Yeah, true.
Hutch has the 5th year
Hutchinson
left.
can just wait till next year, too. If he wants to,
Yeah.
Lions probably don't, but
No, it takes 2 to tango. As much as I would love to sit here and say, Brad Holmes, get the contract done,
yeah.
I've now shifted to this is 100% an Aiden Hutchinson thing. Because why would he? What's the incentive for him to sign right now if Parsons is going to
There is
continue?
none.
Yeah.
Especially if they feel that he is as healthy as he is, okay, then like he's going to go out and have a crazy year and demand even more money, you know? So that's there's definitely no reason for him to. I do have one more really quick thing.
Sure.
The news. Man, the air quality sucks still. What's going on, man?
Canada's got to get their stuff under control.
It is being described as unhealthy air quality right now, or very poor to be outside. Just terrible, man. It's in the 150s.
Yeah,
what's been up with that, man?
I went to Kentucky over the weekend, and as I was driving back up, we go over that long bridge over by Saginaw Bay City area. I don't know the name of the bridge. And you look over, and it's like, it looks so foggy outside. It's not fog at all.
Yeah.
I can't believe how bad it still is.
So I was telling you, man, a lot of windmills in mid-Michigan where I'm at, and you can't even see, like, the top of the windmills. You can't even see the blades because of how hazy it is up there. It's actually crazy.
But that's not going to stop me, you, and Brad from balling later.
Right.
Getting buckets.
Balling with the bros.
989-837-6125. Yeah! I feel like we've agreed a little bit too much today, by the way.
Yeah, let's go at each other for this last segment, huh?
Sure.
Your lock of the day is going to suck today.
Thanks, Kyle. We'll read one text before we get to our traditions to close every show. This is Nate from Saginaw. Underwood and Childs are similar in stature and athleticism. I think the MSU U of M game may be closer than Michigan fans may think, and Ohio State pours it on them. Nate from Saginaw.
Speaking of
Underwood's
Childs,
like way bigger than Childs, right? In terms of physical traits,
right?
Way bigger.
6'6", I think 6'5". Underwood is like,
jeez,
just a much larger man. But why have we've been like avoiding this Aiden Childs discussion, huh? Like we talked Underwood on the show a few times this summer. We're just no Aiden Childs yet.
I want to make sure when we talk about Aiden Childs, I'm ready. I'm not ready yet. Is that fair? I don't want to give you takes I'm uneducated on.
I'll say Aiden Childs in college football 26. Pretty good.
It's pretty good.
MSU team is fun, honestly. They have a ton of really good receivers on the game. So
that's the one thing that I'm looking for. Like, I know for a fact I can tell our audience right now, like, this receiving core might be pretty good, especially with Velling if he can actually come along.
I mean, Velling might be the best tight end in the country this year. Like, there's a world where that happens.
Yes, but I thought he was going to be significantly better last year, and he didn't really stick out ever. So I'd like to see that, but theoretically it's there. The weapons should be really good. I think the offense should be a lot better. The defense is always going to be questionable until we see it. I guess that's my take before I give my true takes. But the Tigers deadline has kept me so busy in preseason with Lions that I haven't had time to really like nosedive and prepare for a conversation about Aiden Childs. But I'm excited to do that. We will do that before the season starts. I just want to make sure when we do it, I'm not just spewing, you know?
I do kind of agree with the text, though. Ohio State is just, oof.
Yeah, and Penn State.
Yeah.
Penn State might be
tough year.
Really good.
Tough year for all that to go down, for sure.
All right, our two traditions to close out every show when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
It's time to remember that. With Kyle Sandel.
Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau Agent, located downtown Midland. Tigers lose the series with the Phillies over the weekend, and man, this was some high-leverage baseball. Friday night, obviously a really tight game, but the Tigers end up losing it, blowing it due to the bullpen. Offense explodes Saturday after Tarek Skubal goes 6 scoreless and then gets lit up a little bit late in his start, but the offense was there to back him up, and that was really positive to see. And then obviously last night, Christopher Sanchez just dealing for the Phillies, and you almost knew when Yohan Duran was coming into the game that Tigers were unlikely to take this one. But this is just an unfortunate series loss for Detroit because we don't have anything to look ahead to anymore as far as, well, at least they can still do this at the trade deadline. Like, this is their roster now for the rest of the season. And it was a good spot to have Philly on the schedule because this is their first true taste at a playoff-style series with the current roster that they're going to have for the rest of 2025. Not to say that they totally failed or anything, because I thought they showed some positives. I thought the new guys that they acquired have been pretty good so far. Obviously a super small sample. But man, the bullpen blowing the game on Friday, and then the bats unable to do anything on Sunday. It doesn't give you a ton of positive thoughts going forward once you put the Tigers against these other playoff-style teams for the rest of the season. Remember that. Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau Agent, located downtown Midland.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the local job market. We're here in person. And we're locally owned, so you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at Spherion.com to find your local Spherion office. Let's get to work.
Fueled by wonder and powered by science. At Dow, we're imagining better things for our customers and communities. It starts with our commitment to reach carbon neutrality by 2050. Designing, building, and inspiring for the world around us. Because when we wonder, the things our world needs could be just one breakthrough away. That's Dow.
For 100 years, Forward Energy has been more than just a home heat and fuel provider. We've been a part of your community, and you've been a part of our family through every storm, every season, and every moment. We've been right here, keeping you warm and safe. As your hometown energy provider, we deliver more than just propane. We deliver peace of mind with reliable service, quality you can count on, and a commitment to always being there when you need us most. Forward Energy, 100 years strong, fueled by family, powered by community.
You're invited to Louie Loon's birthday party presented by My Michigan Health. Sunday, August 10th at Dow Diamond. Join all of Lou's friends at the ballpark as we celebrate the best waterfowl mascot in all of sports. To add to the party festivities, the Loons will wear special Disney-themed Mickey Mouse jerseys that fans can bid on during a live online auction. For tickets, head to loons.com. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford, from Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mitt is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the MHSAA, are the 292,000 high school sports students in Michigan. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, soccer, and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, administrators, and officials. We stand for the swimmers, football players, and wrestlers. We stand for the golfers, softball, and volleyball players. We stand as the national leader and advocate for high school athletics and all who participate in them and make them possible. Because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, 989-837-6125. You know what I think it's time for, Kyle? I think it's time for our Lock of the Day.
Lock of the Day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Brand new week. Brand new month, kinda. Clean slate. Fresh start for your boy over here, who's not doing too well in the all-time rankings. But, hey, I'm not thinking about that right now. I'm thinking about today, you know?
Exactly.
How do we win today? The Jim Harbaugh mindset. How do we attack today?
Well, we should give the people an update on last week, right? Because since, Friday is over and done now. You did not hit on Friday.
Nope.
The good news is for me, since you mapped out to try to get to a perfect 1,300 bet a couple days ago, the numbers are easy. You're 15 units exactly down all time. On the dot, 15.
It's not great.
You did win the week last week, though, which I think is big because you had gone 6 consecutive weeks of going under on the week.
Yep.
You went plus 0.88 units last week. So you were over on the week. You're 3-6 all time, weeks-wise.
Yeah.
12, 29, and 1 overall, just on picking yes or no. I'm 11, 6, and 1 on the tail or fade. But like you said, it's a fresh week. You hit the first 3 days of last week early, so trying to get off to a hot start again this week.
To be up 15 units.
Yeah, you're going to make a promise to the people this month,
Do I
too?
do it? I feel like I got to do it.
But maybe a little bit more reasonable, right? Maybe not in 1 month. You've only gotten 12 picks right ever. You would have to get 15 picks right this month.
Yeah, it's not enough shows.
Like maybe like by the end of like October, by Halloween.
Once football starts, I really do feel like we are
believe-
bouncing back. I really do believe
Sure.
that once football comes around, we're going to be golden.
But what, you can bet football like three of the 5 days?
Friday, I think I can get away with it.
You're going to have to bet a Thursday night football bet every week, which is like cool.
Do that anyway.
Yeah. Thursday, Friday, and then Monday. Those are the only 3 days you can bet football. Tuesday, Wednesday, you're still going to have to go
Ever
play
heard
off
of
baseball. And that's not until like November,
Just
late
take
November.
the over. Just take the over.
Yeah, right, in Maxon. For
It hits
sure.
every time.
For sure it does. So what's your promise to the people this time around? Which, once again, you still have to figure out the punishment for this, but probably just never going to happen.
I don't have a promise right now.
Okay.
I promise I'll be better.
I promise I'll be better.
Yeah,
yes.
I promise I'll be better.
That sounds good.
Seriously though, all jokes aside, I don't think it's possible for me to ever have a month as bad as I did in July again. It's truly insane.
11.24 units down in July.
Yeah. All right, let's try to get things off on a positive note today. I'm going with the Dodgers run line today. The Dodgers run line, they are taking they just wrapped up a series in Tampa, so there is a little bit of travel in there, which did scare me a little bit. But you look at some of these OPSs versus Sonny Gray, who's on the mound today for the Cardinals, and all of these guys on the Dodgers have owned him over the past couple of seasons. There was 6 different guys who had an OPS. Actually, I take that back. There was 8 different guys who had an OPS career-wise over 750 versus Sonny Gray today. Freddie Freeman isn't even one of them. So I think this Dodgers team just has kind of figured out Sonny Gray in a way that the Dodgers just do to certain pitchers throughout the course of the year and the years down in the NL. So I'll take their run line at -1.5. Pretty good odds. I wrote it down as +104. I think I told you the wrong number. I think I told you -106.
I got -106, but it's +104 is what you're saying?
Yeah, I screwed up there. I don't know why.
Well, I'll change it in the doc because, it works out better for you. So
Thank you.
I'll change to +104.
Glad's now on the mound for the Dodgers. So that's at 10-10.
Oh, he's finally healthy, huh?
Correct. They just went 18 innings scoreless straight over the weekend before they finally bounced back. So I do think that they're kind of due just for some offense here. So, yeah, I'll take the Dodgers run line tonight.
Okay, cool.
When in doubt, taking really good baseball teams.
I will fade because, like you said, we've been getting along too much today.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, man.
All right, that was our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
All right, our other tradition to close out every show, we try to predict what Colin's going to open with. He takes over 100.9 The Mitt up here in the Great Lakes Bay region at noon via The Herd. But maybe we should just try to predict whether or not Colin's going to do his own show today because it feels like what we have done. How many shows have we done? 40?
Today is episode 44.
Colin has legitimately done 22 of his shows. Like, that might be generous.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but
don't say it.
No, that's us. At least one of us would get a point every time.
Oh,
if we did that, because we have not been hot in this, Ben. It's still 10-6. It's been 10-6 for 2 weeks because you have these other guys that fill in for Colin, and they talk about like they're going out to dinner with their wife last night and what the waiter said to him when they walked up to the table. That's what they lead with. It's like
I think it is Colin today, though.
I would assume it's Colin today, and also I'm gonna give a guarantee today that I'm getting a point. Because I'm up
first pick? Go ahead.
Yes. I'm up first. We have been just predicting for weeks now that Micah Parsons and the Cowboys will be the lead, and it just is going to happen today. If it doesn't happen today, I'll never guess it again because it will never happen. Jerry Jones, Micah Parsons drama, it absolutely is the lead today. If it's not, I'm going to freak out and crash out.
I'm rooting for that more than I am rooting to hear about whatever take he has.
That's my pick. I will get a point, and I will be down 10-7.
All right, I'll hit the drum again that he kept hitting 2 weeks ago or whenever he was
LeBron?
on his show. No, I'll go Caleb Williams.
Okay.
It keeps getting worse and worse.
I think LeBron guess would be better today, honestly.
Why? What happened this weekend?
Luka got paid, and then in response, LeBron was on a yacht with Mav Carter. I don't care. I'm talking about this new basketball league thing. Honestly, I'm like taking back my confidence that I had in the Micah Parsons.
I think it's just as likely he opens with Caleb Williams. This is like
Probably,
one of the
yeah.
most polarizing guys, and he knows what it's all leading up to, the Monday night game, week 1. He gets his first action this weekend. More terrible videos of him surfacing from camp. Him, Ben Johnson, it's golden. He loves it.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So you're going Caleb Williams, I'll go Micah.
Well, and then neither of us are going to get a point because he's going to open
gonna
with
lead
Jordan
with-
Love.
No, it'll be LeBron. Don't worry. Colin is on a 2 LeBron leads a week pace so far this summer.
Is that a real stat? Is that a Kyle stat?
I think so. I think that is a Kyle stat, yes.
Awesome. Well, hopefully one of us can pick up a point here. We are ice cold when it comes to predicting what this guy's going to open with. Partly, I don't even think it's our fault, though. He's never there.
Yeah, once we get into football season, there's more stuff actually going on, and he's there every day. You can predict his tendencies a little bit better. But these other guys, you just have no idea who they are and like what they're going to talk about.
Yeah. All right. We will chat with everybody tomorrow, 9 a.m., as always, here in the Great Lakes Bay region. Hey, do us a favor, man. Tell a friend about the show. Send them the YouTube link. Hit the subscribe button. Tell them to do it as well. I can't tell you how much we appreciate it here. What Kyle said, we're 44 shows in. The growth on the YouTube channel has been awesome to see. 263 subscribers. I don't know if it's anything to be bragging about, but hey, this thing started at 0.
263 more than we had, 2 months ago.
So this has been really cool to see kind of grow. Happy that everyone was here at the beginning of it, and hopefully it continues to grow. So appreciate you guys. We will be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Don't miss it. Talk to you guys then. Hopefully the Tigers can pick up a win. Ben Bosscher Show, 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building